Welcome to the club.
My club are mental, aren't they?
21 is coming. You're chatting gas.
Embarrassing.
Off, ref!
Most toxic fan base in the world are Arsenal.
Liverpool, the worst champions ever.
Welcome back to the club, brought to you by Super 6. It's the biggest game of the season, and it's the biggest game for Arsenal Football Club in 2 decades, lads.
Like
Lovely
Michael
to see you.
Jackson once said, this is it.
Just so you know,
Rest in peace.
are you going to commit to that? Are you committing to that already? Like that level of trolling? This
I've been
early?
doing it for weeks.
Just for the record, I think it's important to point. Now, Buvey may not appreciate this, but I definitely do. They have had a Champions League final in that period, so I would suggest that
Many people watching us wouldn't remember that or wouldn't have been alive.
Do you want to know something ridiculous? I did. Do you want to know something ridiculous I did on the way here? This is just mental. To have legally had a pint of beer the day that Arsenal last won the league, you'd have to be 36.
Oh.
So
Wow.
only people 36 years old and older will have legally been able to watch Arsenal fans will have legally been able to watch Arsenal win the league and then go to the pub and go, cheers, legally.
Yeah, because if they don't win it this year, it's 20 years, right? Like if we don't win it this year, which we're not, it's going to be 10 years. It's 10 years.
Yeah, so they are pushing a decade, and only you can stop them. Only you can make that history.
Yeah, I think we're a lot closer than anyone could have given us credit after the Southampton result for Arsenal, the West Ham result, some terrible performances for Arsenal, but they still amassed a point kind of total ahead of us, where it is a cushion. And, you know, City, we dropped points to Stoke City in the Aguero season. We dropped points to Swansea. So, you know, it's hard. I mean, we talked about it on the podcast. Man United had an 8-point gap with 6 games to go.
Yeah,
so
no,
even
it
tighter.
It can happen, but I'm just amazed that it's happened to this Arsenal team. I really am, because, and like I know people like to throw around the bottling thing and all that, and I don't necessarily think that's always accurate. But do you know what they have done in the last 3 games? And this isn't me being snide or anything, but they have choked, haven't they? Like they have
bottled it. You didn't want to use the word because it sounds more. It sounds worse than you want it to be.
More professional.
But
we
they
want to
can
be professional. I want to be a professional.
We don't want to be
presenter.
professional.
So
No, but they can pull it out of the bag.
So,
They haven't necessarily. I think a bottle suggests that it's over. Like if you bottle something, it's over.
No, but
choking means that it can be rectified. They win tonight, then they haven't bottled anything. They still would have choked, but they can.
That's what I was about to say. Like when you look at the way they've lost those 6 points in the last 3 games, leading at Anfield. Look, a draw at Anfield isn't the end of the world. You know, many teams would think if we want to win the league, a draw at Anfield's a good result, which it is, especially when you consider their form there. But they were 2-0 up, and they poked the tiger.
No, but you can rationalise.
Okay, yeah, and then we move on to West Ham.
Yeah, you can't rationalise.
2-0 up against a poor West Ham side that had just been away in Europe, and you let that slip.
Yeah,
excuse the pun.
Two. Also, do you know the other thing? Part of the choke, Saka had a penalty to put them 3-1 up.
That's true. Yeah,
part
forget that.
And
I didn't forget that. I said it.
I didn't either. I think Adam did.
No,
Adam was leading the narrative.
Some people forget that.
Me and you were waiting for him to not mention the biggest moment. Also, Saka didn't even score a penalty, lads.
I would suggest.
By the way, he didn't score a penalty, lads.
I would suggest that you forgot it because when I said it, you were like, "Oh, some people do forget that," as if it was like a lived experience.
No, Rory, we've done a lot of videos together. I was bouncing off the back of your idea, mate.
It felt to me like it was a lived experience. I said some people forget it.
Yes,
I said some people forget it, and you were like.
Check my Twitter timeline. I've never forgotten that Arsenal bottled it. I never have. Honestly, every day I'm tweeting. And by the way, I'm finding some. By the way, look.
How many times are you going to say "by the way" today?
Yeah.
No, but you lads have
BTW.
been in. You lads have been in title races with Arsenal. I don't think City ever have been. I mean, you obviously were in the 90s, for example. I found some crazy Arsenal fans coming out of the woodwork. Some crazy Arsenal fans out there slagging me off all sorts.
Really?
No,
very weird. Calling me a small club, calling me a little fan and all that, glory supporter.
A little fan. Did they actually call you a little fan?
Yeah,
Is it like a remix to the Garage tune, Little Man?
Little fan.
But I can't believe some of the people coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Real weirdos out there.
Yeah, no, they do have. Like, you know, when people talk about big clubs and small clubs and that, the thing that I will always acknowledge, like, you know, people go to biggest club in London or whatever, I can make a case that it's Chelsea, but what I will always concede Arsenal have more of by a mile, fans.
Yeah, 100%.
They have such a huge... Like, you know, Chelsea, for example, they're talking about getting a bigger ground. Tonight should be a lesson to the ownership. Literally, you can't not get a ticket for tonight.
Yeah,
like,
crazy.
honestly, I'm surprised that you two aren't there because the tickets are just like everywhere. People are like... It's like a bukkake of tickets. They're just everywhere, all over.
What of tickets? What's that?
They're
Rory just bukkakied your
tickets
face.
everywhere.
I don't want to ever hear Rory say that word ever again.
That's what
Bukkake.
it is. It is. It's just
Bukkake,
tickets.
we call it.
That's what it is. It's just tickets everywhere, all over you.
Can you stop doing that on my face? You're blowing my hair back and all that. I've had a haircut. If you haven't noticed, it's a lovely.
Mate,
I'm getting a 1.5 on the
you
side.
You do podcasts with us every week. You do one podcast on Sky, well, a little show, and he gets
Here's the
the
reality,
truth.
lads.
New kit, new hair. Yeah, I've been on Sky. I'm actually going on Sky.
I've had this for a few
Mate,
weeks, lads.
He usually turns up for us in spandex late. Yeah.
Sweating on his bike.
Oh, he's wearing spandex late. He gets
Pushing
a
his
call for
bike through a
Sky.
door.
Sorry,
he gets
lads.
a call for Sky. He's like, oh, haircut, got a new shirt on.
Yeah, pathetic,
Sorry, lads.
bro.
We can't all wear penguin shirts and all that in purple. Okay, we can't all do that. I've got to shout out NordVPN because when we smash Arsenal tonight, I'll be wanting to watch the highlights wherever I travel for the rest of my life. And you've got to use a NordVPN to do such a thing. You know, Twitter highlights, lads, it's serious. But NordVPN is the fastest VPN of its kind on the internet for the price of a cup of coffee. You know, Arsenal fans love their Gales coffee. That's about £4.55 these days.
Can I interrupt you?
NordVPN is cheaper than that.
Okay, what you need to do, though, is stop getting involved in my part of this. So the coffee line is very much my thing.
no,
when we
this
talk
isn't scripted.
NordVPN,
This is
anyone who ever
natural.
knows, when we talk NordVPN, they are a wonderful service, and make sure that you head to NordVPN for all of your VPN needs. I didn't really know what a VPN was until I was exposed to one, and now it has changed my life. Truly, get involved. But never say that again. The coffee line is mine. It is so cheap, it is comparable to the price of a cup of coffee. And guess what? One account allows you to pay with 6 devices. So simply one account, 6 devices, and there is absolutely zero jeopardy. If you don't like it, there is a money back guarantee. So make sure that you check out NordVPN. They've been kind enough to sponsor us and partner with us. So make sure that you support them, but never do that again about the coffee.
Yeah, 30-day money back guarantee. Did you mention it's Time Invention of the Year for 2022, by the way?
Yeah.
But also, I'm currently looking for tickets and stuff, plane tickets for this pre-season tour in the summer. It's helped me out massively in terms of saving money on flights and also accommodation as well, because I'm going to be out there in San Diego, mate. Yeah. Absolutely
Fantastic.
enjoying
I'm going to
myself.
Western Supermare on holiday. So you do the exotic, fancy stuff. I'm going to Western Supermare, all right, on a beautiful holiday this
I'm
summer.
hearing as well.
Yeah.
Going to be a big game announced in New York.
Yeah.
For Man United this week,
Against
which is
who?
going to be fun. I can't say who yet, but
Not
it's going to
sure.
be announced on Friday.
Do
Cool,
you know,
cool.
and you're just not telling us?
Yeah.
Oh, don't
One
be-
of them might be playing today.
Ah, understood.
Wow.
Understood.
What? City?
Yeah.
Come on. I'm going to New York, lads. I'm using my VPN to get the cheapest possible flights.
By the way, talking about City and United, June the 3rd,
What's
going to be
happening?
huge. The FA Cup final.
Was that June the 3rd?
Huge.
it's-
Just before they will potentially be playing in the Champions League
Do-
final
do-
if they get there.
Oh,
Do you know
that's-
what? I was
that's
so,
early.
okay. This is interesting. Then let's put Adam on the spot. I've got a great question for Adam. If Manchester City, hang on, if Manchester City get to the Champions League final, your chances of winning the FA Cup are amplified, but their chances of winning a treble are obviously amplified. So, do you want them to beat Real Madrid? No.
I just want all.
Do you see what I'm
possibility.
saying?
Yeah.
You're saying,
Yeah,
do
I
you
get
want
that.
do you want them to beat Real Madrid so we have more chance in the FA
You're
Cup
more
final?
likely to beat them in the cup
Nah,
final if
I'd
they're worried
rather-
about the Champions
I
League
think if we
final.
win the FA Cup final, we're cocky and arrogant going into the Champions
No,
League
but
final
you'll be
as well. So-
you'll be preoccupied about a Champions League final going into an FA Cup final.
No, but
Surely you
City
don't
got
play.
such-
But
Mate,
I
they'll
think it's
kick you to
different. It's
bits.
different this season though because the Premier League run-in finishes obviously a lot earlier. It's a week of the FA Cup final, then it's a week of the Champions
Yeah,
League final.
but imagine
There's no
you're
Premier
going.
League
But
games in
imagine,
between.
firstly, it's a Mancunian derby at Wembley with silverware at stake.
3 p.m.
It's,
kickoff.
it's so
hu-
big,
it's huge,
right?
but
it's so big.
we've got the squad to manage that. You know what I mean?
But just think about how it could materialise. Scott McTominay, that you say you go 3-0 up, Scott McTominay is going to kick everybody. Kevin De Bruyne, does he need to play?
That's true.
Do you know
That's
what
true.
I mean?
Yeah, true.
And I
That's
just think that
definitely true.
Manchester United, if I was a Manchester United fan, I think that Manchester United's chances of winning the FA Cup are increased if Manchester City are in a Champions League final. But obviously, if you're in a Champions League final, you have more chance of winning the Champions League. So is it better for Manchester United to get into that final? or
No,
not?
but you know what? I tell you what has turned out to be a blessing in disguise. The Europa League final would have been 3 days before it if we got there. Which I know, look, I'm still disappointed to get knocked out by Sevilla.
Yeah, you got smashed.
But imagine playing in the Europa League final 3 days before FA Cup final against City. You're never winning both.
That's
Probably not
true.
winning one.
That's true.
It's a difficult one. So I think that's a blessing in disguise. But to answer your question, I'd rather they get knocked out of the Champions League now, just to put everything to bed.
See, I think you're more likely to win the...
It puts less pressure on us for the FA Cup final as well. Imagine they can go and complete the treble in a Champions League final against Inter or AC, which would be quite easy for City. You know, I know AC have the history in that, but
relatively.
And if they beat us, they've just got to win one game. That puts way...
I think whoever gets to the final from that side of I think this is even true about Chelsea, which is mad. But whoever from that side of the draw gets to the final will be going into the final as favourites.
Oh, for sure. Spurs and Chelsea beat AC Milan this season.
Tottenham didn't, but yeah.
Spurs.
Tottenham didn't. Otherwise,
Chelsea
they'd be.
Yeah, sorry.
Otherwise,
but Chelsea. Yeah, but the Spurs weren't smashed by AC Milan.
No, they lost 1-0 over 2 games, didn't they?
Yeah, this AC Milan side, with all due respect, but it's all about Real Madrid, and obviously we'll be covering it on the club. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Lots of great chat coming your way.
By the way, as well, we're very close to 5,000 on our Super 6 league. So Club S6, please join our league on Super 6. We've had some good results. Last weekend, I got 12 points, you know.
You keep going on about it. It's not as much as some of the other lads in the league who actually did come top, and they won £100 to spend at classic football.
And
shirt.
ladies, you know.
And ladies.
We bring the ladies in.
My mum's in the league. She's
I thought you said your mum's a lady. I was going to say.
Yeah, you don't.
Goes without saying.
No, she's in the league and she's enjoying it, and she's hasn't won a football shirt yet though.
Ted Lasso's at City.
Yeah, all this is embarrassing, and this is an omen. This is a bad omen for City.
Do either of you watch Ted Lasso?
No way.
Every clip I've seen makes me think this is cringy crap.
Creepy. And when
every
Graham
time
Potter,
I see people tweet about it, it's all this is the best thing I've ever watched.
Well,
it's all very.
A week before Graham Potter got sacked, he was doing this kind of weird enactment. He was kind of go on. What's the clubbing thingy called?
They're called
Richmond. Richmond. He was like, go on, Richmond. I think they've got a top striker. They're going to beat Arsenal this weekend. I thought, mate, I can't wait to get sacked. He was playing into the narrative of the show.
In a press conference.
But like in a separate press conference where it's like a fake press conference for the thing, but it's actually him saying it.
But
I thought, I can't wait to get sacked.
He acted for the show.
Yeah.
And you're using that against him.
Yeah.
I'm bringing
you
it
just
up.
said it's cringy.
That is bad.
He's managing Chelsea
He's
Football
managing
Club.
Chelsea. He shouldn't be doing
No, but that's like...
It's pathetic.
It's like
Nathan
Gary
Mount doing the
Lineker being
chicken
in
shop
Bend It
thing.
Like Beckham, innit?
It's like when Emmanuel Petit was in the bill.
Was it?
You ever seen Emmanuel Petit?
I didn't know that.
Wait, okay, everyone, this is the best. What? Don't leave this stream, right? But open up a new tab. Write the word Emmanuel Petit, the bill. It's absolutely brilliant. For no reason whatsoever, Emmanuel Petit was playing for Arsenal. He was a brilliant midfielder, playing central midfield with Patrick Vieira. He just decided one day that he was going to be in an episode of the bill.
I love
He's
that.
like in Sun Hill, going into the station to report a crime.
With
it
Reg
actually
Hollis.
happened.
What was the crime? Do you know?
I don't know.
Well, I love that
You're
because
part
he
of the Bill
must have
establishment. I
been, he
thought
must
you'd
have been
know
a
that.
fan. He must have been a fan in a time of pre-social media and like.
I was a fan.
bumped
June,
into
what's her name?
someone-
June.
June,
Good
June
old
Brown.
June. Because her daughter is a music artist.
June
big famous
Brown.
music-
June Brown was Dot Cotton.
Oh
Yeah, not
that's
June Brown. Rest in peace, by the way. Didn't say rest in peace.
That can's not with us.
You're wrong, Ad, for not saying rest in peace to Dot Cotton.
I didn't
Rest in
know
peace.
she was no longer with us.
Yeah, she's
Rest in
long
peace,
gone.
man.
Bless her heart.
But anyway, Emmanuel Petit.
And while
why are we talking about this?
Yeah.
Why am I talking about this? Oh, because of
Dot
Ted
Cotton.
Lasso.
Oh, right, yeah.
So, yeah, because of Ted Lasso and whatever else. Yeah, but no, I haven't watched it. I have absolutely no interest in watching it, and I shall never watch it.
No,
But
it's
that's mad
embarrassing.
about Petit in the bill.
If
And
you-
why you've got that other tab open as well? YouTube, Rory Jennings, EastEnders.
Yeah, this is the big thing for me. Everyone on pitch side wears Richmond tops, I'm hearing.
Watch your wet wipes over there on pitch
including
side,
that
you know.
big wet wipe Tom Garrett. So, look, this is embarrassing. And they've got more followers than us, people in the league, than us on Super 6. If you're listening to this and you've not joined our league, Club S6, make sure you get involved because the lads at the pitch side are wearing
Mogs, man.
Richmond shirts.
You've
It's
got-
so
you've got-
embarrassing.
Tom Garrett running around the West Midlands. Yeah. In a Richmond United shirt. He's the only person in the West Midlands with a Richmond United shirt.
It's pathetic.
Absolute
It's pathetic.
scummy behaviour. He is.
And they got more. They got
Just
more
jumped on
people in the league.
bandwagons over there, innit?
Yeah, it's embarrassing, lads.
We'll
Yeah.
do him, I think.
What with numbers? Yeah,
And
in terms of
Wrexham, by the
numbers,
way. Wrexham, Buvey.
I don't want to get involved.
They love Wrexham over there.
Yeah, well, you two.
Did you see them post
doing
their
the
little
chat
picture?
as well? You're going on about it. Yeah,
Congratulations on getting
Congratulations,
promoted.
Hollywood FC. Well done, Hollywood FC. You've outspent everyone in the conference. Congratulations. The Vanarama, some great sides that have been, Bury FC got put into administration. Yeovil Town are in the Conference South. Rochdale getting relegated. Some of the historic football clubs.
How high?
We've got little old Wrexham. It's embarrassing.
How high do you think this could go for Wrexham? Realistically, do Wrexham play Premier League football in the next 10 years?
I think League One's their ceiling. And then you look at so many clubs, it's hard. The Football League is so hard at League One level and above.
Do you not think that just the money and the eyeballs, for example, Chelsea are playing Wrexham in the States? That takes them beyond. That takes them into a different stratosphere.
Obviously, I'm a bit biased because I don't want them to get any higher than League One. I think it's a little bit. For me, it's a bit cringy, the whole thing. Nothing against
What
Wrexham.
do you reckon?
I think they're a massive club. When you take into consideration they're the oldest club in the Football League, right? Or they've got the oldest stadium in the Football League. They're going to come up. They've got a massive history, huge fan base, which is only growing because of things like Welcome to Wrexham, because of the fact they're going on pre-season tour and taking on United and Chelsea and everyone. That means, and because they're not in the Premier League, by the way, when they play United or they play Chelsea, those United fans will become Wrexham fans as well at the same time, because you can almost watch both and engage in both. And
I quite like the story.
I think they will. Premier League in 10 years, I don't know. But the one thing that separates them from everybody else in those leagues, the revenue streams are huge.
But they've already clubs in League One that can't get promoted out of League One.
But FFP-wise, that means you can spend your money. When you've got the revenues.
No, they've got huge deals.
They're building, they're improving their stadium. That's already a 10K plus stadium.
It's a good stadium. It's a good ground. Yeah, I remember when they beat Arsenal in the cup.
Mickey Thomas.
Yeah, but the end behind the goal, they had they have a proper cop. And when that goal went in, it moved. One of those great scenes of celebration. So yeah, I don't mind the story. Weirdly, I find it all quite interesting and quite likable, because they did nearly go bust. But the thing is, that's what I think needs to be remembered. When we talk about the heroes of Wrexham, I think people always position it as, well, Ryan Reynolds, really. That's it. I think it's really important that the however many dozens of fans it was that kept the club alive, they're the heroes of they're the hero. When they get promoted, they are already promoted, aren't they?
Done.
Right. When they have the pitch walk round, the geezers who kept the club alive are the ones that should be on the pitch as well as.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think it's because they really did nearly go extinct.
But I think Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney and whoever else is involved, because I'm sure there are other investors as well. The good thing about them is they know they're custodians for the club. They don't act like this is ours, we own it now, and you will do as we say. They seem to gauge what's going on with the fans. They seem to have close ties to the fans, whether that's, they're filming a documentary, which must help them gauge fan opinion. And I think that's one of the things as well. They know they're custodians for a football club.
I'd like to go. Would you like? I would genuinely like to go to a game at Wrexham.
Yeah. I'm going to see him in San Diego.
No, I'm not that. I mean, look, I'd like to go to that for completely different reasons.
Guys, Adam's going to San Diego. If it's not already been mentioned, he's going to San Diego. He's going to San Diego, guys. He's going to San Diego.
I would like to go to
you've
San
stopped
Diego.
talking about the London Marathon, funnily enough. Wonder why that is. Wonder why that is, Booth.
Why you?
Because everybody would be asking for a refund if we found out what happened to you.
I hit the wall, lads.
I think I need a refund.
I raised some money for charity.
I need a refund.
I raised some money for charity.
I gave the money to charity, and also I need a refund.
It's like when you're supposed to do a sponsor silence. I was going to just talk for the whole game.
I kept running. It was just a slower pace than I expected. There's nothing wrong with my time. I beat a load of people.
No, you
Your
didn't,
dot
mate.
stopped
SpongeBob
moving.
SquarePants overtook you. I saw a geezer dressed as the Chipmunks. Alvin, Simon, and Theodore ran past you, mate. No, genuinely, I'm not joking.
Did you see
a
that
geezer with a fridge on his back?
Yeah,
did
he
beat
got
you.
a Guinness World Record.
He did beat you. Yeah. The geezer who ran with a fucking fridge on his back.
And not Victor Lindelof, by the way. He was also in London that weekend.
Honestly, I've never felt anything like it.
I'm obviously joking.
No, but the wall was when you hit the wall.
Didn't hit it, mate. I trained properly.
No, but I thought you didn't train properly. You were
I had 7 weeks. I was a last minute standing.
3:56, 57. What were you? 3 hours, 56 minutes, 57
Anyway,
seconds.
it's Man City versus Arsenal. It's the biggest game of the season. For me, I'm unbelievably gassed.
Can I ask you a question, genuinely?
Yeah.
Do you feel a sense of achievement, which as you should, in my opinion, or do you feel like there's unfinished business and not next year?
No.
But at some point in the next decade, you need to do a sub 4?
Yeah, no, I'm capable of doing a sub 4.
You're not.
I did the first half in a good time.
You did a +5.
Yeah. I'm not right
Sub
now. I'm
4
not capable.
+5.
Oh, yeah, I'm not right now.
I'm really capable of it.
Guys,
Yeah.
the chat want a Buvey time reveal.
Yeah, we need the time. We do. We deserve it. We sponsored.
No. You
How
know,
long have we got?
wait. We have to charge the people for
No,
this.
but we
Yeah.
deserve it
We have
because
to
we
charge the
sponsored you.
people.
I've been charged.
Let's
I
just put it-
paid you. I sponsored you. I paid
If
you.
the stream
I was
lasted over
and
5
also,
hours,
can I
we'd get
point
a sort of time. Let's
Can I
put it
point
that way.
Can I point something out? This is huge. I sponsored Buvey.
Sorry,
Just for the record, I sponsored Theo Baker. I sponsored them both at exactly the same time. I did it on the internet. I went one to the other. Interestingly, did Buvey first. Within 10 minutes, Theo Baker sends me a text. Thank you so much, Rory. Incredibly kind, incredibly generous. Really appreciate it. And then he kept me in touch with his, I'm going here now. I'm feeling like this. I'm eating this. And then I'm recovering here, there, and everywhere, right? I sent Buvey a text and went, "You're welcome."
Also,
honestly.
we never got any updates from him. The only update we got was a screenshot of his position, and it said LB about 20 miles from the end of the thing, and he was stood still. He was stood still.
Yeah.
Lads,
Do you know the story of marathon? Do you know why it's called a marathon?
Yeah, you got to keep going.
No, but do you know the guy marathon? Like genuinely, do you know the backstory?
In Athens.
He ran
Right.
from to deliver news.
to deliver the thing.
Yeah.
If you
I would've
were
died.
him,
Yeah,
that
I would've
message
died.
would have never the world would be
Well,
completely
he died
different.
at the end of that, and
There's
I
a
didn't.
ripple
So that's
effect in
something.
that.
He died at the end of that run.
If you want Buvey's time, we need to get to 5,000 members on our Super City.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
And
That's a
we're
good shout.
200 away.
Yeah.
That's doable.
If you want my time, I'll give it the honest time. Join the league, Club S6. But all I'm going to say, lads, when you hit the wall, it's hard, lads. Okay, it's hard. But I ran the final 10. It was just the middle 10. I did.
No.
I did. I ran the final 10. I've never felt anything like it.
You
I
did what
cramped
that
up.
woman did. Did you see
I
that
felt-
woman did?
yeah.
She got a record, but she got a medal, and then she posted her stats with her medal.
Oh.
And what's the app called?
Strava.
Strava app. And like she posted it, and like a few people went, "Oh, congratulations!" and that. And then a few people looked at her stats, and there was one point where her heart rate rested really loads, and her speed picked up really fast.
I was in a cab,
And she was-
in a sherbet. Yeah, in a fuck.
And she still tweeted about it.
Mate,
she finished third.
Yeah.
so when at mile 12, 13, 14, when did it hit?
So I did. I saw my mum at Tower Bridge. Lovely moment.
Beautiful.
So that's
Best
the
moment of your
halfway
life.
moment,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
was I was running
Across Tower
full
Bridge,
pace.
best
You know, I
moment
was
of
running a
That's
normal
the
pace.
problem. Your mum should have been on the finish line.
5 minutes.
nah.
You would have made it then.
Can't.
Yeah, but I met there as well. But it was I was doing 5:30 kilometers up to that point, so it was a decent pace for me.
Too
So I
fast,
was
though.
doing 2 hour 10, 2 hour 15 half.
I mean, it's
marathon.
too fast.
Yeah, but then I thought I was going to do super slow, just keep plodding along. Honestly, lads, I've never felt
Do you know
anything
what you
like
need?
it.
Do you know what you needed to
I've
do?
never felt
You needed to
anything
do
like it.
9-minute miles, mile 1 and mile 20.
Yeah. Well, do you know TFL? I had to get off at Canary Wharf and walk from Bridge to Greenwich.
Yeah.
I had to walk 5 kilometers to the marathon because TFL stopped the train halfway through. Yeah, so TFL, you dickheads. For real. No, for real.
Mate,
There were hundreds of us had to walk off, you know, the DLR.
Did you know when you go under Blackfriars?
did
You know with
31.
Blackfriars. Do you know the moment when I've never really known anything like it in terms of like panic? I'm doing all right. There's people chanting my name. The atmosphere is incredible. People are giving you like jelly babies along the way.
People
it's
were
all
chanting your
phenomenal, right?
name?
Yeah, because you get Rory printed on your
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Right, people are chanting. No, people. This is before I worked. Not nobody would know me now, but literally nobody knew me then. I was an actor who had no work. But you get Rory. I ran for Children with Cancer. You get Rory written on it, so people go, "Go Raw!" And I had all like Chelsea tattoos and that, like transfers. Obviously, I wouldn't get a tattoo. I'm not mental. But then
Rory with fake
you turn down into the Blackwall Tunnel. So you go from like when I did it was a sun.
There's another reason for it to be
and you
closed
go into the Blackwall Tunnel, and mate, it was like the first scene in Saving Private Ryan. It's like people are going to the bathroom. There's St. John's ambulances under there. Geezer over there. He's like screaming. I was just like, oh, this is.
That's
incredible.
not the course this time, though.
You didn't go through the Blackwall
No,
Tunnel?
to get over the
No,
river is
it's-
Tower
it's-
Bridge.
no,
Do you mean the little bit on the north bank?
When you go down by the Aldwych, you go under an underpass.
There is
What
an
you're saying
underpass.
is
In the
yeah.
underpass.
Right,
In the
yeah,
underpass.
yeah,
people
yeah.
can't be seen, they use it as a moment to just be themselves and just release.
People
like, all
can,
their
because there's
negative
nobody
energy.
watching.
Yeah.
People get there and they go, "I'm finished." Yeah. Oh, the team's. Look at this.
We've
Look
got
at
breaking
this.
news. We've got
Massive.
breaking news.
West Ham 1, Liverpool 0.
Come on.
What did I tell you earlier, Elliot?
That's massive in the
If
relegation
you want a little
battle.
4.5 to 1, West Ham are winning tonight. Paqueta
We're
with
about
the
to
goal.
kick off, lads. It's the same side for City, except Walker comes in for Ake, essentially, and then Akanji goes over to where Ake
It's
usually plays.
a great sub, isn't it? Like, you lose Ake and people go, that's bad news, and then Kyle Walker comes in.
Yeah, he's made it's between Laporte or Walker.
Well, our
to start.
resident City fans were unhappy with this.
Pacey, and he's
They
Pacey
were
on the
unhappy. Buvey and Jack were talking about this earlier, and they were unhappy with the team.
Well,
Jack said to
Based on what?
Buvey, he's done it again.
He's overthought it. The reality
Why?
is, at the start
That's
of the
the perfect
season,
team.
Kyle Walker was being asked to play as an inverted fullback, like the Zinchenko role, like the Rico Lewis role. He's not good enough to do that.
No.
So this is the weird reality of Guardiola football right now. Kyle Walker is playing as a centre-back, right? And John Stones as a centre-back is playing as a right-back in a midfield. That's what's happening today.
But hang on, is it? Are you not now overcomplicating it? Is it not basically this? Kyle Walker's double quick, Gabriel Martinelli's double quick and a problem. Therefore,
But
2 and 2 makes a Christmas
positionally,
cake.
we're seeing a back three with Kyle Walker as a centre-back. He's a right-sided centre-back in this 11. John Stones will play on the outside of him defensively off the ball, and John Stones will play in midfield on the ball.
But also, when City defend, Walker can push out to the right, and Stones can almost drop in as a second centre back.
He's not going to go round
You
him,
can
is
still
he?
have a back four.
From what I've seen, because Akanji does that, tucks in as well. So it could be Kyle Walker plays as a right-sided centre-back like he did for England.
I think in defence, you will be much more like a familiar back four.
Is it not as simple as this? When Gabriel Martinelli, who I think is a sensational player, doesn't really get the credit. When Martinelli, who runs with the ball, he's so direct, he's fantastic at dribbling, fantastic going past the man. To combat that, you focus on Kyle Walker's pace. I don't think it needs to be this geezer does that, this geezer does. It's like,
no, I'm just saying.
Their
positionally.
wingers fast.
Yeah.
Our fullback is a good defender, therefore our fullback is going to look after your winger.
Yeah, I just think there's a rotation between what Kyle Walker was asked to do in this City side that he didn't quite work, and he's come back in a different way.
They're lining up as a normal.
We're off.
This is it.
This is a huge game.
This is it. Like Michael Jackson, the biggest game of the season. Now, can you imagine? I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy, but can you imagine how big it would feel if Arsenal never dropped those points against Southampton? But nevertheless, how do you think Arsenal have to approach
How much
this?
did you love that? That Southampton was just so good, wasn't it?
The 1 week where you didn't go for a draw as well.
Yeah, I know. Said it all the time. I know. Said it every week. I know. But yeah, I think look, in a way, and look, I'm going to go glass half full for Arsenal here, because there is no positive to dropping points to Southampton at home. Of course there isn't. But let's just find the positive. They now know exactly what they have to do. Had they gone to the Etihad, at one point it looked like they would go there and have the sanctity of the draw. The draw would belong to them. In a way, I think, obviously, in my opinion, that's better. If you don't have to win, you're more likely to win. If you don't have to win, it means you can play a different way. It puts the onus on the other team. That's all positive. But equally for Arsenal now, and there needs to be an element of arrogance to Arsenal. They are top of the league for a reason. Go to the Etihad, win. That's it. That's the end of the conversation. It's not, the draw does us, or we can play for the draw. Go there and win.
But
Go there and win.
They didn't win the FA Cup. They didn't win at home when they were in much better form than they are now.
But they've never had to until now.
This is the kind of macro aspect of football, the injuries and the kind of philosophies. And mate, there's a moment where you just got to keep the ball simple and not draw or even potentially lose to Southampton, who've been rock bottom all season.
No, I'm saying
not becoming
I completely agree.
club.
By the way, but what I'm saying is what they have now is the luxury of. They have the luxury of definite. What they have to do is now non-negotiable. They have to win this game. The Arsenal now literally have 90 minutes to not save their season, but save their hopes of winning the league. They must win this game. There's a clarity to that. There is a clarity.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
How do they go about it? By the way, Cody Hackpoll
give the ball away there.
1-1 between West Ham and Liverpool. How do Arsenal go about it?
They go about it by stop giving a ball away for starters.
Just give the ball.
Oh my God.
Penalty!
It's free kick.
He's given a foul against De Bruyne.
Hang on, that means it must be a dive.
Really, no. He kicked him. He went to shoot. Partey's got himself in front of the ball, and De Bruyne's kicked him. So I think that's the right decision by Michael Oliver. The issue for Arsenal is that's horrendous by Ramsdale.
It's a terrible 2.5 minutes from Arsenal. The opening 2.5 minutes hasn't been good enough.
Can you tell me in a Premier League title?
Hang on a minute.
Yeah, no. Partey's done really well there.
Wait,
he's shielded the ball.
No, he hasn't. He's blocked the shot.
It is a free kick.
He's shielded the ball. He's made De Bruyne kick him.
Mate, the keeper's bottled it, lads. I've been saying it for months.
That can never be a penalty.
But he hasn't touched the ball. He hasn't played the ball at all.
That's true, but De Bruyne never had the ball either. De Bruyne never had the ball either, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it came off the keeper. So neither of them had it under control.
I'm not sure I agree with your assessment.
It's a great sign. 3 minutes in, that's already happened.
Because it would have been so easy to just point to the spot.
Yeah. Do you know? I was amazed. Do you know where Arsenal have really surprised me? You know the big players in the team. they haven't been here when it most matters. Like, for example, West Ham United. You've got a midfield for Arsenal that day of Thomas Partey, who I rated so highly at the beginning of the season. But this is why I'm saying it's a choke. You had Thomas Partey, Granit Xhaka, Martin Odegaard. Declan Rice running the show. Thomas Partey was dreadful against Southampton. Gabriel Jesus, not good enough against Southampton. In fact, Martin Odegaard, not good enough against Southampton. The big players, the personality, the statement players, the marquee players, I really think they've let Arteta down.
I don't think they were ever good enough. Has Xhaka ever been good enough to be a Premier League winning midfielder? Really?
No, but there was a time when Thomas Partey...
fans getting all emotional about it.
They are good enough to beat West Ham.
Odegaard's got the ceiling to be that kind of guy. Martinelli, like Rory said earlier, is a world-class
I think Odegaard's
talent.
been their player of the season.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. But
Odegaard.
Xhaka's...
Yeah,
come
Xhaka.
on, Xhaka.
Xhaka, numbers-wise, has been amazing. And I think he's stepped up against Southampton the other day. But Odegaard
Look at
makes them
Ramsdale, the
kick.
keeper. The keeper's not world-class.
Here we go. Saka's in the box here. He's crossed the ball. It was a good cross, but Gabriel Jesus weren't anticipating
He wasn't...
it. And
Gabriel
Kyle
Jesus
Walker.
was so wide, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he needs to be in
yeah.
the middle.
Got a few super chats, boys, to spin through for you. Someone says Chelsea are globally a bigger brand than Arsenal now. They have some more supporters clubs and bigger stars in the US. Also, can McKola do a meet and greet in San Diego?
I will do one in San
Who's coming to that? One bloke who's a Man United fan.
Yeah. And what?
Yeah, wait, are you going
Double
to San
the
Diego?
attendance at the Etihad tonight.
Are you going to San Diego, Adam? Does anybody know that Adam's going to San Diego, by the way?
So tell you where else I go as
indeed.
well. New York.
Adam is indeed
This is-
going to
yeah.
San Diego. There's another one from Sahar Shetty. It's 28th of May, the last day of the Premier League, 3rd of June, the FA Cup, and the 10th of June, the Champions League. So City may have to win all 3 games in the span of 13 days to do a treble. Will
Well
they
done.
do it?
This bloke's used a
We
calendar.
did it in 10
Well done.
days, bro.
This bloke's used a calendar.
We did it
Well
in
done,
10
mate.
days, you
Also,
mug.
He's used
hang
his
on a minute.
calendar app on his
Hang on a
iPhone.
minute. Maybe they don't.
Congratulations to you, mate.
There's obviously a world where they don't have to do that
Yeah,
because they could have already won the
Pick the
league.
ball
They
up.
lose the last day of the season and then win the cup. And
No
United did it
negativity,
in
lads,
10
for God's
days.
sake. Just because you
16th
two are
of
fighting
May.
for nothing this
no,
season.
because you've already won the
22nd
league. I
of
said
May.
nothing
Yeah,
negative about that.
No
26th
negative
of May.
Nancy's over here, lads. All right.
And last one, which brings us on to potentially a bigger discussion and topic. Rory, thoughts on Poch?
Mate, I don't want Pochettino at Chelsea. I just really don't want Pochettino at Chelsea.
Now, for those that don't know, Pochettino has agreed to become Chelsea's next manager. And it's looking.
Is that where it's at? Sorry,
heading
that
way.
he's agreed and they're formalising it. Is that as far as it's gone? So it's really close.
So he is the next Chelsea manager.
I think it's almost definitely going to happen. And when it does happen, of course, I'll back him, and of course, I'll pledge like complete support to him, and I hope that it works. And there'll be something truly phenomenal about. Go on, Kevin.
Oh my days!
Joking.
Oh my! He only had one part of the goal to aim at. Kevin De Bruyne
Keeper
near
near post,
post.
though.
What's the
Keeper
keeper
near
doing?
post, man.
But I think they've been told to
Aaron
take shots at
Flatsdale.
Ramsdale.
I can't believe
Look at
Ramsdale.
Arteta. He's flapping about his Lego haircuts going in the wind.
What is going on there?
Pep must be
Why is Pep
stressed,
Guardiola? Is
bro.
Pep Guardiola on the pitch?
No, Edison's in the dugout with him.
Edison has left his goal to go for a chat with
Don't
his
ever
manager.
compare De Bruyne to this Odegaard kid ever again. It's unbelievable. That is pure
Who compared
class.
them?
All these Arsenal fans.
Oh, yeah, don't listen to Arsenal fans, though,
De
man.
Bruyne scored a big goal at the Emirates. He looped it over the keeper. He's done
Superb
what a
work by
finish.
De Bruyne-
This is
by
world
Haaland,
class.
Mate, that's proper centre forward play from Haaland as well.
Look at that. What a finish.
Keeper,
Keeper's
man.
got to save that, bro.
It's a good goal. I'm not taking anything away from the goal.
That's
but
a touch.
Also, Holding. Come on.
Rob Holding's been sent back
Holding.
to Turkey to get another hair extension.
Holding.
Oh, what a finish that is.
Arsenal have choked. They've
Oh,
just
the keeper's
choked.
got to. This is going to be 5-6 now, you know.
Does my Super 6 a world of good if it's 4? I've said 4-0.
I hedged my bet to went City to win,
What a
even though I
finish.
thought
I knew
Arsenal
he'd
getting a
score
result.
that.
What score?
2-1.
I said 4-0.
Oh,
Right.
did you go big?
Brighton also beating Forest 1-0.
No one cares, mate.
Yeah,
The
you
whole
keep-
title.
you keep-
Why do you keep telling me, talking to me about Nottingham Forest?
What did he
You know
say?
why
He
we
said,
care?
lads,
You know why
shut
we
up.
care?
Breaking news. It was like
Forest have missed the
West Ham have
penalty or
scored.
something. Mate, he did it to me before.
It's the
Forest have
biggest
missed
game of the
penalty. Mate, I
season.
don't care. Chelsea are playing now.
You should care.
Mate, this is the game. This is the game. Do you know what they should have done with Chelsea? They should have played Chelsea at Cobham.
Yeah.
And let anyone that wants to go to that go. The 1,000, and then put a beam back of this game on at Stamford Bridge.
Lads, breaking news. Aaron Cresswell's pulled his right calf. That's breaking news from Elliot Hackney over here. Use some judgment. We're watching the biggest game of the season.
Yeah.
You know
This
why
ain't
that's
Wrexham.
that
This
is-
ain't Wrexham.
That is breaking news. You know why? Brighton are 12 points clear of Chelsea with 2 games in hand.
No, I'm not being negative Nancy to Rory because he's been back in City in this game. So no negative Nancy about Chelsea and their poor situation. But there's nothing wrong with Rotherham United.
I appreciate you backing me, but can you stop saying
podcast.
negative Nancy?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Rotherham
why?
United next
Yeah,
season.
but you've both dropped it today.
There's
I don't
nothing.
know. Yeah, you've done it.
No,
You
said
started
first.
it.
He said, I don't be a negative
Yeah.
Nancy. I thought, actually, you are a bit of a negative Nancy.
Also, what does it even mean?
People
Means
use that saying
you're being a
once
negative
so
kind of
often.
person who's maybe
Who's
a
Nancy?
Nancy.
What's
Who's
Nancy got to
Nancy
do
and
with it?
who's Larry?
She was famously a negative person.
She went out with Bill Sykes and Oliver Twist.
His husband was happy as Larry.
Yeah.
Who's Larry?
Larry
Yeah,
Davis.
sorry to be
Yeah, we're
negative.
very much verging onto Peter Kay territory.
Yeah,
here.
sorry to be negative again, but we do want to keep hearing from Rory on Poch, which we were doing before that goal.
Can we
Yeah.
start again?
Yeah. So to sum it
being
up,
negative
though,
Nancy.
look, when Pochettino is announced, I will have no option but to back him and to desperately hope that it works. And there will be something truly beautiful about Mauricio Pochettino winning a trophy with Chelsea when he'd never managed to do it with Tottenham. Like that will be such a huge cut to the personality of Daniel Levy.
What is that trophy then out of it? I know it's a very speculative
It can
question.
only be. I mean, it could be a Europa League.
Yeah, but
It
do-
could
do
be
you
a
think-
FA Cup.
Do
It
you
won't be a
think
Premier
next
League.
season, with the right investment in terms of 3 or 4 players that fit instantly, could you win a Premier League next season with Pochettino?
Can we just get to the bottom of something? Sorry, Booth. Remember your question for in a minute. Rory, why are you so against Poch? Is it just because he's ex-Spurs? What is the reason here?
Yeah, there's
Because
a huge,
I'm a bit...
there's a huge element
bit
of
confused.
that. There's a huge element of that. It would be like asking Buvey if he'd like Sir Alex Ferguson to be Manchester City manager, or
I'd
asking,
love Pep to be United manager.
or asking you if you'd.
It'd ruin his legacy.
No, but
What's
Pep
the-
Guardiola is different because Pep Guardiola isn't the definition of Manchester City. He's obviously like Barcelona and kind of bigger. He's a football person. But would you like Paul Dickov to be Manchester United manager? Do you know somebody who is City?
Dickov.
Do you know?
I don't want
Let's
to
not do
No,
Paul.
City.
No,
City.
yeah, Mike Summerby.
Do you know, weirdly, Paul Dickov is a very nice guy.
No,
Yeah, I
I know.
like
He's also a good player.
Yeah, I played
Good strike.
football against him.
He's also a very good player.
Class.
But they've got an overload
There we
here.
go.
They've got an overload here.
Go on.
We'll save this Poch chat for half time, by the way, because this game is too much to be doing any Poch kind of chat, and we're hoping to get a clip out of it. Like, it's just not going to happen. This game is so good, and whilst on one hand I expected Arsenal to be front foot pushing, say that name, Buvey.
Huh?
Say the name.
I can't see, lads. I'm looking at the Arsenal losing 1-0 to City scoreline.
Of course he could see. He couldn't read it.
Buonanotte. I wanted you to say that because you normally like.
One and after, he's what a player he is. good with his feet, I've heard. Good on the ball. Why are you laughing?
I'll tell you what he is.
Why are you laughing?
He's excellent on the half turn.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Covers
excellent
every
on-
blade of grass.
He always
When-
wants the ball.
when he gets going-
He's a footballer who always wants the ball.
Soft free kick from Xhaka. He's diving all over the place. Xhaka's a giant
Hey,
melt,
have you
by the way.
seen Buonanotte's turn of pace?
Yeah, unbelievable. What a player this kid
Blew
is.
my mind. Blew my mind.
Xhaka
that boy.
is the softest, most emotional little melt in Premier League football. Look
Yeah,
at
nothing
that. That's
happens
not a
there.
free
That was a
kick,
foul.
that's it.
I don't think anything happens.
Yeah,
He
see,
clipped his knee.
Michael Oliver is an absolute wrong un.
Oh, did you see Pep's thingy? Press conference when he was asked about winning the league. And he went, yeah, it's kind of easy. And then just winked at the camera.
Did he?
That's so good, bro. I can't stand City or Pep.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I just thought,
I like.
if I was
I,
Pep,
like,
he's
I
got weight
really, I
about him.
really like
oh,
Guardiola.
I'd love to be coached
I
by
love
him
Guardiola,
and managed
yeah.
by him. And I'd love him if
I think
he was
he's
my manager,
just
but
brilliant, isn't he? As well,
I have to hate him.
He also strikes me like, you know, when you see him like, you know, when they've won the league and he's like celebrating, dancing and all that.
Yeah,
He just seems like a really cool bloke. I reckon me and him could be good mates.
He seems like a bloke that is super on top, though. You know, like during... And
No,
this is
but
why
do-
his teams are so good. But I mean, in terms of...
switched on.
But do you know
You know,
what?
you have a good game and think, oh, yeah, and he must be there. Like,
No,
"Bruv, I need you to do
you know
this."
what's interesting? I've heard this firsthand, weirdly. You know, in the beginning of the season, and sometimes Manchester City early in the season will like there'll be weird results. They'll lose the first game of the season or whatever. At the beginning, he almost takes it very easy.
Mm.
He's very relaxed about the snooze. He's very relaxed about everything early in the season, and at Christmas it changes. But he says to his players, now is the time, now's the time. If you're going to have a bit of time off, maybe if you're going to make your mistakes now. Because
Like
at Christmas
Fergie
is...
was like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Because nothing's won in January, mate.
Mm. Mm.
So no, I just think he also comes across as like a really nice bloke. Like really, I think he'd be really good company. So like he's incredibly intelligent, dresses very well, always very important. Out of all of the former managers that are great, I reckon I reckon he'd be my best mate.
Would he be your best mate?
Jose,
It's got to be a two-way street, Royce. Would he want to be your mate?
Yeah, he'd love to be my friend.
Really?
Mate, me,
Based on
his
what?
missus, Victoria, we'd have a great dinner. I'd take him
I
for
can
dinner.
imagine
We'd have a
Rory-
lovely
Why have
bottle
I
of
never
wine.
been
Drinking some
invited for
wine with
dinner?
Pep.
Well, you haven't
I've been
got-
your co-host
you
at the
haven't
club
got
now for a
missus.
good few months.
You're single, man. You're plenty of fish in it all the time.
That's a good shout, yeah.
when you get a missus, we go for dinner.
All right. I appreciate that, mate.
There's a challenge for you.
Yeah.
You want to get invited to dinner? Now you've got an extra reason to try and find a missus.
Yeah.
He's going to be swiping right like a good one tonight.
No, I'm not in any rush, lads. I'm dedicated to football.
Why, is there someone watching this that you're trying to not...
No
Yeah.
comment.
Yeah,
No, but
you're like, shit.
lads, I'm here to talk about
Can't
football.
make the Tinder jokes anymore
I love
because she
football.
might be watching.
I love football more than anything else. That is just the reality.
What Buvey loves, by the way, guys, is if you see him out and about and he's on a date, he loves when people come and ask him for pictures when he's on a date. So if you want to help Buvey...
Why are you being a grass?
What? I'm getting...
You're grass. No. You are grass. I've told you that in confidence.
I'm trying to help you out here, bro.
No. You are a pro. You should be a referee. You're a Michael
what
Oliver
happens
type.
on the club stays between us and the club.
What, and the 6,000?
Oh,
How many
geez.
people? 6,000 people? 4,000 people?
We get more than that watching.
4,000, yeah. 6,000.
Come on,
was
we're not
ambitious.
pitch side.
But yeah, 4,000 people now know that. So thanks for being a grass, Adam McKola.
You've just confirmed that it's true. They
should
could have
be-
thought I was joking.
You should have been a copper just like Mark Goldbridge.
You could have thought I was being. People could have thought I was joking.
That's
But
a good
now
point.
you've cemented the fact that it's true.
Yeah, it is funny on a night. The amount of Arsenal fans that come up to me in recent weeks is scary.
You know what I love about Arsenal fans? They give it all this on Twitter.
Yeah,
All this on Twitter.
Yeah.
Then when they see me, oh, you're right, mate.
yeah, shitting themselves. Yeah,
Just don't be unfair to Arsenal.
Well, I'd be shitting myself because if they come up to me, I'm 6'4", massive guy. You know, I'd be shitting myself. So I get it.
What, you'd be scared of yourself?
Yeah.
If I were to have a fight with me, I'd be scared as well.
Have you seen him walk past the mirror?
I look myself in the mirror sometimes. I can't believe it, lad. Honestly, I can't believe it.
Did you look yourself in the mirror on Sunday after that London Marathon?
The trouble is, mate, if they hit you and run away, you're not going to catch anyone.
That was bad, lad. That was that's a good point. Yeah, no, it's
What
bad.
footballer were you reminiscent of on Sunday?
What, blowing?
Well, yeah,
Blowing.
anyone that was injury prone, weak, and
You
terrible.
were Darren Anderson.
I was like Michael Johnson, the old Man City player.
Now.
he just
How
gave
he is
up.
now. You like him now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He gave up after. He
that
gave up and
Angie?
became an estate agent. That's what I felt like during the marathon.
God, this is unbelievable. It's going to be a very, very long 90 minutes. This 90 minutes is going to feel like 90
Partey
years for
shouting
Arsenal
already.
fans. Do you know Thomas Partey?
Stand him.
He hasn't been quite as good when it's most mattered, has he?
He's not world class. He used to play right back for Atletico Madrid. He's not Casemiro.
I don't
He's
think
not
that's
Rodri.
fair.
He's not Fernandinho. He never will be.
I think he is definitely top 3 defensive midfielders in the league, and at points this season has been the best.
Maybe.
Well, look, Rodri, Declan Rice, Thomas Partey, Fabinho, but Fabinho's had a terrible season.
Kante on his day.
Incomparable to
Kante's
this
playing up
season.
front nowadays, isn't he? Because of Frank.
Because Frank Lampard's a genius. Frank Lampard's a genius. You know when Pep Guardiola does it, everyone thinks it's cool. Pep Guardiola starts playing like people like Bernardo Silva at fullback, everyone thinks it's cool. Frank Lampard starts playing like N'Golo Kante centre forward.
Conor Gallagher's a
The thing
false.
is, I don't think Pep Guardiola's lost 4 in a row, even at Barca B.
Happens to the best of us, mate. Happens to the best of us. We've all been there.
Ooh. We're winning the ball high up the pitch, which is
By the way, your
An issue.
boy, Bernardo Silva, Rory, has
He's so
been
good, huh?
immense in the last
I just
couple of
think he's
weeks.
so good, man. I think he should be in the conversation for Ballon d'Or. I don't think he ever will be, but I
No.
don't think that's correct.
Someone was
I
having
don't think
this
I've never seen
conversation
the geezer have
on
a bad
Twitter.
game. I've never seen him have a bad game.
no,
Yeah,
same.
Obviously, Erling Haaland is City's top goal scorer and he's their best goal scorer. But in terms of City's best footballer, it's Bernardo or De Bruyne, isn't it?
Yeah, it's probably just De Bruyne, I think.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Do you know there was a moment this season? It was actually against Arsenal.
I'd rather be Bernardo though.
No, Bernardo Silva's so cool, man. He's so cool, walking about in his Birkenstocks and that. Not that I'd ever do that because I'm not disgraceful, but I rate it on him, like his flared pants and his Birkenstocks. But I do think that Kevin De Bruyne is probably the most gifted footballer, the most naturally gifted footballer, not only at City, just in the Premier League.
Oh, he's the best player in the league, I think, for me.
He's the most gifted footballer. Like you can argue because of different positions and whatever, but
Yeah.
just in terms of just the spin that he puts on the ball, the natural curl that he puts on the ball, the way that he plays passes, the grace with which he plays them, the goals that he scores. Like look at the goal. Do you know when I really thought, God, this boy. Do you know when they played this game at the Emirates? Kevin De Bruyne ends up in what he made look like a very easy chance, but it wasn't an easy chance at all. It was his weaker foot on the volley in a huge game. and he just gently caresses the ball. He doesn't blaze it. He doesn't like swipe at it. He just passes the ball graciously into the net. It was an amazing goal, and it made me realise I don't think any player has scored more goals with their weaker foot than Kevin De Bruyne. Like, he genuinely doesn't have a weak foot. He is a footballer that doesn't have a weak foot. Him and Lewis Baker, they're comparable.
Lewis Baker.
Lewis Baker was like a Chelsea youth product who it hasn't gone his way really, but
the blonde kid.
No, he's not blonde. He used to take corners, and I used to find it amazing. Right, I remember like going to see him play, and whatever side the corner was on, he'd take it with that foot.
Really?
Yeah. He was like a genuinely.
Is that Ronnie O'Sullivan?
Like Ronnie O'Sullivan, absolutely. He's a very good comparison.
Ronnie O'Sullivan lost today against.
Does he play for Stoke, Lewis Baker? Does he still take the corners? Does he still take the corners like that?
Why are you asking him about? He's more interested if Aaron Cresswell's got an injury in his calf.
Andreas Pereira and Adnan Januzaj. Like,
let's not bring these two.
You know what? Academy level, they were like immense, like ridiculous, isn't it? That's why everyone just hyping him.
No one cares.
We're in the middle of Adam chatting about his amazing story.
I don't want to hear anything else. I don't want to hear the word
We're
Brighton
talking about Andreas Pereira over here.
Forest,
mug.
Lads, Forest has scored. By the way, lads, Sheffield Wednesday scored against Plymouth Argyle. No one cares.
I've just got a text from my mate, right? He's gone, there were fewer empty seats at my first game when Glenn Hoddle was in charge than there are today. He sent me a picture of Stamford Bridge. Look at the empty seat. Like, look at that. Like, bearing in mind, that's a season ticket end. People they've just jacked it, haven't they? They've just gone, well, they want to watch this as well.
Yeah. De Bruyne's just nutmegged Rob Holding. He should be on a yellow card every day of the week.
What, for being booked? Oh, sorry, for being nutmegged.
Well, the way he got nutmegged was embarrassing.
That's a great new rule. That's what Arsene Wenger should focus on. Nutmeg, if you get nutmegged, you're booked.
But it's 2 fouls now for Rob Holding. He's got to be careful.
He's just not good enough.
He's not.
He's just not good enough.
He's one of those players that lands at a big club. He doesn't leave. Like, if Phil Jones left Man United, he wouldn't start in the Premier League. He's not good enough. Do you know what I mean? But he's still at Man United.
Phil Jones could leave Man United.
Rob Holding wouldn't start in the Premier League, would he? Would he start for Bournemouth? No, not for me.
You know what it is, yeah? Do you remember when Callum Chambers went to Aston Villa? And it's like, you look at a player and you go, it is finished at Arsenal. But what you don't realise is that at Arsenal and at Manchester United and at Manchester City and all these clubs that are fighting for Champions League spots and fighting for the title or fighting for whatever, like the pressure there and the football even, like not only are you the 0.001% of football, you're now the 0.001% of professional footballers because you're at the pinnacle.
Yeah, that's true.
And I just think some people aren't good enough for that, but they are good enough. Like,
he's done well to be there.
Holding could go somewhere, end up getting a coach that likes him, and maybe do well at a mid-table Premier League team.
You're right. You're right in principle. The
Fulham.
principle that you're talking about is right. Certain Premier League players in a different scenario can end up getting the move that they need and therefore finding a bit of rhythm. I don't think Rob Holding is that guy. I don't think Rob Holding. Don't tell me a score from Brighton. Do not do it.
We did a poll in the chat. Do you want score updates? 82% said yes, and I'm giving you one right now. Brentford 1, Chelsea 0.
It's the derby, the West London derby.
Walked into that.
Mate, QPR Brentford's a bigger game now than Chelsea in the Championship.
Who scored?
Don't know yet. I'll have to look.
Oh, you're pathetic.
Brentford.
Stoke, man.
So what's that? 5 losses in a row?
Yes. Well, it wouldn't be. It would be if the game was over. Buvey.
This man was so happy when Frank Lampard came back.
Yeah. At the moment, it's 5 losses in a row, Roars.
No, it isn't.
At the moment,
it's 4 and a bit.
Sorry, Elliot. Can we cut back to Elliot? What is the scoreline at the moment?
1-0 Brentford.
Matthias Jensen.
That's not
so
a defeat.
Currently, but you're currently
haven't won
losing.
this game. Do you think
we
you
are
won this
winning?
Game? Yes, but you haven't won it. So you haven't won this game.
Currently, present tense, you're 5 in a row.
Why do you have to say every end of the word like that?
To emphasise the fact that it's present tense.
You're emphasising your own
basic grammar, lads. It's basic
Currently
grammar,
is
lads.
the same in any tense. No, it's not. Current.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. English lessons with the club.
I got
don't
English
follow
language
us for your
A-level.
English A-level.
Oh dear.
It's bad, isn't it? It's
Are
real
you
bad.
thinking about? It's the Aspilicueta own goal. That makes you feel better.
Yeah, that's cheered me up. Thanks for that. Yeah, that really. Thanks for. No, you're still thinking about the bad news. Here's the good news.
You see, this is the definition of a negative Nancy, because he slags me off at a marathon. He slags off Rory while he's down. His club's getting relegated, and you're slagging everyone off, Ad. At that end of the table, it's real.
They're going to beat you in the cup
Nancy
final.
vibes.
They're going to beat you in the cup final. Equalise your treble.
Okay.
That treble weren't that impressive in the end, was it?
How about this then? I'll make it better. Chelsea aren't going to get relegated. They're 11 points safe.
Yes! Joke's on you, Muggs.
I'm Palace above you now.
You know when you're down really bad when you start thinking we are staying up in it.
Yeah, but you know those kind of songs? I hate that.
Yeah,
I hate that. I hate that kind of joke. Like, when teams sing wish, yeah. Like, never do that. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What a finish that was.
Oh, the end's gone, in fairness. Look.
What a finish that is.
Look, I'm not taking anything away from the goal, the Kevin De Bruyne goal there, but Aaron Ramsdale will not be happy with that. Like, I'm going to be straight. Really bad goalkeeper. I've rated Ramsdale. I've said he's had the best season out of all the keepers. But recently, just another example of an Arsenal player who's choked when it most matters.
When we were in a Premier League title race, the Aguero season, I know people are going to slag me off because of what Joe Hart is now.
You're right.
Joe Hart never made a mistake like that. He was a young keeper. Now, he tailed off, of course. Went to Celtic, Spurs, I get it. Joe Hart is at a higher level in that season than Ramsdale is this season.
I'll tell you where it all went wrong for Ramsdale when he appeared on that fella's podcast.
Yeah, he's slagging us off camera, saying that he didn't like me and Rory and all that.
No, he didn't say me.
Hang
on, why are you bringing me into... No, that's not the quote. Hang on, I've got the text message. I'm in the group.
Were you in the room?
I'm in the group, the way it was put, just for the record. Aaron Ramsdale said nothing about me, good or bad. He said he didn't like Buvey. And Buvey just told the story. He went, he didn't like us. No, he literally didn't say me. He literally didn't say me. He said he didn't like you. He didn't mention me, good or bad. He probably doesn't like me. I assume he doesn't like me.
But basically, that means Buvey and the club live rent-free inside Aaron Ramsdale's head. And when that goal went past him, he would have thought of Buvey's face straight away.
He probably did. I made a TikTok a few months ago. It did really well. I basically observed how many times he's got relegated. He's been relegated a lot of times. He's been relegated 6 out of the last 8 years of his life. That's embarrassing. Yeah, he's been relegated. I think it's Wimbledon,
Bournemouth,
Rochdale, Sheffield United, Bournemouth. Can anyone else in the back room let me know? But I think it's about 6 or 7.
Is that the most relegations one person's held?
It's got to be Neil Redfern still,
He's
isn't
been
it? Neil Redfern
so
went down
many
every year. Charlton, Bradford, just signed for the clubs.
Seriously. But anyway, poor guy. Terrible keeping today. That was awful keeping.
It was really
near
bad
post.
goalkeeping, man.
You just keep the near post. If he beats you far post.
Mate, and 2 minutes previously... It didn't end up I think it ended up in a free kick actually for Man City, but for Arsenal. But a couple of minutes before that, he's ended up palming one out.
He'll never be world class.
It's not true because he has been world class this season.
He's not been world class this season. He's had decent Premier League form this season. He's not been world class.
Oh
my god.
Oh my god.
Who is it?
Kevin De Bruyne's not quick enough, is he? He's still got it somehow. Oh my god.
That's a great block by Ben White. Is that Ben White?
No, isn't it?
Yeah, it is Ben White, number 4. Yeah, number 4.
Give the foul. Yeah, well done.
I can't believe De Bruyne didn't score. That was amazing from Ben White. You're correct.
He was on his weak foot. That's the issue is that Haaland's not running through. He's linking up well, Haaland.
Oh, Haaland.
Do you know what, Buvey? On this channel, only a few months ago, one of your concerns about Haaland was just the overall link-up play. I feel like since that conversation, he's elevated it.
Improved so much against Bayern Munich.
What I think it is? I think it's a tactical thing as well because Arsenal centre-backs, they will allow Haaland to drop deep. Because they will think in their heads, and I've heard defenders speak about Haaland before in the past. Like if he's dropping deep, that's cool for us. We can just sit here now and we can wait for him to come back to us and time those runs. But then when he dropped, and then they've got the run of Kevin De Bruyne coming, and they're like, hold on, do we go with Kevin De Bruyne or do I wait for Erling Haaland to come back?
Yeah.
And he's causing that indecision in defence. You saw it the other day, Riyad Mahrez, and I know it was against Sheffield United, but he's running through on goal. Erling Haaland just makes the run.
Oh, God.
Mahrez pretends to pass it to him. He doesn't even pass it to him. And he's through on goal.
He's creating space. He's creating space.
It's ridiculous.
Do you know what they need to do to Haaland? And I know that it's not. I know that you're not really allowed to think like. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You know the old reducer, the Martin Keown reducer. I think that he fancied doing that holding, but he wasn't even quick enough to foul him. Like he couldn't foul him. You know when you're too slow to even foul.
In these days, though, anything real aggressive like a Keown.
No, but you can do the dead leg. You do it. You do the innocuous dead leg.
I don't think you can these days. I agree with you.
No, the dead leg, the top of the thigh.
You get away with that.
You get away with that because it's accidental.
Have you seen it recently?
Even if you take, mate, every week.
Give me the last one you've seen.
It happened in the Brentford game.
While
today.
you're thinking of that, can I just say, Big Daz, shout out you, has put a super chat in for 30 quid, by the way. I think he's a Spurs fan.
He's in again, Adam.
Congrats, Buvey, for the marathon.
Come on.
We're congratulating Buvey.
Haaland! Oh!
It's got to be.
Is Mr. It's Mr. City. He's got to
Quick
score
feet,
that.
quick feet there. Good save, Ramsdale. Very quick feet from Haaland.
Congrats, Buvey, for the marathon, and he's paid him 30 quid for the.
Got to score.
So random in the chat's been more supportive
It's
than
not
you
random.
two virgins
It's not.
over here.
Hang on, it's not more supportive than me. I literally paid
One
you
of these
to run
virgins
it.
as a child, by the
I
way.
literally, I literally sponsored you, and you didn't even have the graciousness to say thank you.
I did in the end.
No, only
Did
when I prompted you.
No, because I turned off email notifications. Do you know what it's like getting all these donations in your email saying someone's
You
donating?
didn't get that many.
No,
I don't think you
about
raised very much. You ain't got that many mates, no? And you got a platform. Still didn't get that many, no?
Oh, mate, I don't want to be begging on here, mate. I don't want to be begging.
Mate, you did it plenty. You did it plenty.
No, a couple of streams. Should have
And
been
then-
2-0 to City.
And
Can't
then you
believe
went against your word
What's
because
that?
you went, I'm being sponsored to run a marathon,
Yeah.
and then you run a half marathon.
You didn't run a marathon, yeah.
No, I ran half of it and then slowly jogged the other half.
Crawled across the line. Yeah, he's like that geezer. Who's that? That's the geezer. Batafemi Gomez coming through.
That's a great reference. That's unbelievable.
Right, Buvey, next time.
I didn't know you watched.
Have you
Lower
ever
League
done a
stuff like
half
that.
marathon?
Swansea legend Gomez.
Have you ever done a half marathon?
Yeah, quicker than you ever have.
No,
Have you ever done a half marathon?
mate, you got a lot. You ain't done it quicker than me.
What, half marathon?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not.
definitely haven't done it.
I'm not.
Oh, you
I'm not
weren't
gonna go
talking
you.
to me.
Yeah,
Fair,
don't get involved.
sorry,
Don't get involved.
sorry.
Yeah.
No, he's involved.
No, he's not.
He is
out, Rob,
involved.
back me
He's
up.
involved. He's involved. Have you ever run a half
Of course
marathon?
I have.
Or did you just try and do it? You just went.
I've run marathons.
Oh, I
before.
know what. I'll just do full marathon. Piss. Easy.
Not in that. Not in a.
You
not in a
underestimated it, didn't
Yeah,
you?
Oh,
you
definitely.
definitely
I underestimated.
I told you you'd
the
underestimate.
adrenaline that I lost in the first 10k in terms of the crowds and
Yeah,
so
the
on. Honestly,
euphoria.
I've never felt anything like it. It was amazing.
Did anyone ask for a selfie while you were walking the rest of the way?
I finished the marathon. I actually, on my life, I did run the final 7-8k. So I'm there, sweating and on the line. And then an Arsenal fan comes up to me. He'd finished behind me. By the
No,
way.
he finished in front.
On my
He
life.
finished
On
an
my
hour and a
life.
half ago.
Boys,
He's drunk. He's had 6
I
pints.
swear on my life. I swear on my life. I would
he
never
was
say
walking
this.
back home
Yeah.
after the pub.
Yeah.
On my life, right?
Yeah.
This is, by the way, it's a fit and healthy young lad, by the way. So I've beaten him, by the way. Arsenal
Stop saying,
fan.
by the way.
Yeah.
And so I'm there getting a photo on the finish line.
and he finished
comes
slower
up
than
to
you.
me and he says, "Stop talking about Arsenal on social media and all that." So I beat him. That's
Was
the
it? So
reality.
what, is it
Call
was a
him
slow Arsenal fan? Was it Rob Holding?
Yeah, I would have beaten him, that's for sure.
That guy with the fridge on his back was running around with
Yeah,
Rob
mate. I
Holding.
saw
Yeah,
when I was
Rob
watching it
Holding.
on the telly.
How do you know a guy with a fridge on his back beat
'Cause
me?
he got
I
a
never
Guinness
saw a
World
fridge on
Record.
my
He's
back.
fast.
He got a Guinness World Record. He got
No,
some-
but-
Is that a free kick then?
But also, mate, basically everyone beat you, innit? Like percentage-wise,
Well,
you're in like the final
I was in-
5%
I
of
was-
people.
No, not
finished.
5%. I was in
So
bottom
95%,
30%.
95% of
I
people
was in
that
the
ran
bottom 30%.
95% of people that ran the marathon. And in fact, you know how you're young as well. You're like 27, right?
Yeah, why do you want to know my age?
No,
What's
I just
that?
want to know
What, you
because-
want my passport?
no, because
what do you want? My passport number? What do you want?
because-
What do you want? My
Club
club?
S6 if you want to get his
The official
time, by the way.
Club S6.
Club
We can
S6
get-
on the Super 6 app.
Yeah. I think of your demographic,
Yeah.
you were the last.
No, impossible. Well, I beat the Arsenal fan. So he went straight up to me and said,
Your
"Stop talking about
demographic's
Arsenal."
a
I
big
said, "I just beat you in the
demographic as
marathon."
well.
Yeah.
No, a lot of melts who ran the marathon and
Yeah,
also Arsenal
that's your
fans. And I beat all
demographic
of them.
melts.
Well, I'm sat at a table with two of them, so it is what it is.
Yeah. It's all obviously very tongue-in-cheek. You did a wonderful thing. But you do have
No, you did a
unfinished
wonderful
Yeah,
thing.
you
You're
do have
raising a lot
you
of
just
money
didn't
to
do,
charity.
it's all tongue in cheek. You did a wonderful thing. You just didn't do the wonderful thing very well.
You remind me.
No, I've got to do a lot better. No, for sure.
You remind me of once in school. Yeah, we had to do like raise money for children in need and that. This reminds me, I probably owe him like a tenner. And we were doing a sponsored silence, and in year 4, so I don't know how old you are then, like 8, 9. I like collected money off my mum and her friends and that, like probably like a
Just
pound off each.
didn't
Bought loads of panini stickers and that. Didn't do a minute silence. Didn't do no silence. Like just
That's all.
absolutely not doing
Why don't you
that.
donate right now?
I
Donate
don't know.
some
It's
money.
you mug. So that's basically.
Oh, thanks very much. I didn't know that.
It's
Thanks very
amazing.
much.
It's
Thanks very
amazing.
much,
Like
Alan.
in that situation, I don't think you've done anything wrong. But you know, when you're young, you do terrible things, don't you? Like morally.
Yeah,
But
I
you don't
stole
really
out of
think
someone's wishing well.
Did you? Do you
Yeah.
know what I remember doing? I remember.
Stole someone's wishes.
I remember I'd upset my mum. And I was like, I've obviously felt guilty about it. Do you know what I remember doing? I got on my bike and I rode to Kensal Rise, which is probably about a mile from where I lived. Big cemetery, like famous cemetery. Rode my bike there, just got off my bike, walked around the cemetery, like got lots of flowers that people had put down, and rode home and went to my mum, "I love you, I'm so sorry, here's some flowers." They were taken off a grave.
Yeah, that's mental.
Like I was a kid, and obviously the motivation was I want to give my mum flowers, and I don't have any money, and I know where there's some flowers. But that's mental.
Yeah.
Like now, if someone told me they did that, I'd be like, are you
Couldn't believe
crackers?
it. Yeah,
You've gone to Kensal Rise Cemetery, like Freddie Mercury's in. I might have taken Freddie Mercury's flowers.
Wow. I've never done such a nasty thing. I've been
Nasty. It's not nasty.
No,
that's the point. I'm not saying it's nasty. It's not nasty.
I've never been so nasty in my whole life. I've been a gentle giant of the YouTube space. So thanks so much for subscribing to the club. Haaland, we were talking there, and I love the story, but Haaland did have a big shot at Ramsdale near post. Good save from Ramsdale. All things considered.
I think he needs to score there. I'm not saying Haaland needs to score more goals, but in that exact circumstance, I think he kind of needs. I
think
to
he got
score
stuck
more
under his feet. I think it's just where the ball landed. So I'm not going to blame him. It cut to Elliot there. I thought he was going to talk about Nottingham Forest getting a yellow card in the 38th minute.
I was going to say half-time around the grounds apart from this game.
It's half-time around the grounds apart from this game.
So West Ham 1, Liverpool 1. Who were Brighton playing?
Forest, Brighton 1-1.
Forest 1, Brighton 1. And Chelsea 0, Brentford 1.
Do you know what, though, Booth? I'd say that on play, you should be 3-0 up. And therefore, if you're an Arsenal fan watching this, you're probably okay with it at the moment. You're probably okay with it, but you go, look, get to half-time, and if it's still 1-0. Are you a bit gutted at the moment?
Yeah, we should be 2-0 up. I think the De Bruyne chance on his left foot, I think he did really well. Was it Ben White who blocked it? It was an unbelievable block. But this kind of game, you need to be 2 or 3 up.
Okay, so let's talk about Arteta here, right? We've seen Ben White play really well for Arsenal. He's a good centre half.
Party.
It's wide, man.
Miles
it's just
wide.
Right? He's a really good defender, Ben White. He puts in challenges like that, which is one of the best tackles that you can see in one of the most difficult and important circumstances. Should Ben White be playing centre half?
Yeah, I've seen a few Arsenal fans saying that to mitigate the fact that they've got injuries there to Saliba. Who do you put right back? Is it Partey? I've seen Arsenal fans saying Partey used to play there at Atletico Madrid. So I don't think you can. You don't weaken Partey to let Ben White play at centre back, do you? They don't. And Rob Holding at right back? Do you do a Dan Burn kind of vibe?
Yeah,
maybe. But then I think you might be worried about the pace. Dan Burn.
Is Tommy Asu injured? Is he?
Yeah, they're both injured. Saliba and
I actually think that Ben White should be centre half, and maybe he doesn't cut his losses. Arteta. Do you remember last year when he was persevering with Xhaka at left back?
Yeah,
when he was persevering with it.
1,000,000%.
You have to cut your losses, don't you? You have to be pragmatic as a manager. Oh my God, that's so easy.
That's how easy it is.
So easy.
Give it Bernardo. Or just take it by yourself. Take it by yourself.
They're not tackling him. They're not tackling him. What are they doing? Why am I getting animated? I don't even care. In fact, I want him to score. But what on earth is wrong with Arsenal?
He looks so naive defensively.
They're backing off and backing off.
That was so easy. Oh my God. That's 1-1-2. They then play the ball into Haaland in central midfield. He's picking the ball up, basically, central midfield. No tackle has come in. Literally no tackle. He didn't beat a man there. Erling Haaland did not beat a man. He literally just drove at the heart of the defense.
Who's Arsenal's left back here? Zinchenko?
Yeah, Zinchenko, yeah.
Where is he?
Yeah.
Wait, where's
Steve is he at?
Where's the central midfield?
It's another chance gone.
I think if you're an Arsenal fan, you're over the moon here.
Arsenal have got to win, remember? Not draw.
Yeah, but
you're right,
they're 2-0 down, it's over. And they should be 4-0 down. I think if you're an Arsenal fan, you're over the moon at the moment.
Do they do a little huddle at half-time and Zinchenko starts crying? Do we get the Kleenex out for him and his teary eyes? Do you know what I mean? What do we do for him? That's what I'm worried about. I think we should send a Kleenex to the Etihad right now for Zinchenko to cry into. I don't know what you lads think, but yeah, if you're watching, by the way, make sure you join Club S. If you're watching, lads, you've got to back me up here. Do you know what I mean? It's a three-way street.
You know what was amazing about that? He did his thing, right? He did his thing. You were having a drink and I was sorting out my trousers. So nobody said anything. He's like, we're going to send some Kleenex. Anyone getting any?
What I was going to say is,
drowning.
I was going to talk about our beautiful partners, Super 6, who've been backing us this season. Yeah. Make sure you join the Club S6.
If you love it so much, how about you get some points to your mug? Trailing in the league.
Have we put on enough subscribers to our Super 6 league to get Buvey's official time? Have we put them on? Is anybody monitoring it? How far short are we? 5'6" before you start.
We're still 200 short.
Oh my God.
Come on, lads.
Oh my God.
I will actually reveal it.
Wait, 200 is too many though. We've set the time. Like, we're not going to get 200.
We are. We got to believe. Oh, I'm not doing it then. You said 5,000. I'm not doing
200 over this stream and next stream. 200 is too many, man.
No, it's not. Why is it too many?
Mate,
we did
no dreams too big.
You should do this. You should do this in your life. I did this.
Yeah.
Obtainable goals.
Yeah.
Dream of the obtainable.
Well, I did that on Sunday. You were slagging me off.
No,
Finish
you didn't
the marathon.
Well, the
That was my
obtainable
goal
is
to- to finish the goal.
No, the
Finish
obtainable.
the marathon.
S6.
I know that's not as
Download the Super 6 app.
It's not
Look,
even a goal.
forget,
What, to finish
forget
marathon?
Buvey's marathon time for now. Super 6 have been sponsoring us. They're absolutely amazing.
But
All you have to do is put it.
Buvey on the finishing line.
See, any time Rory talks about lower level footballers like Gomis, I thought he's above that. So fair play for recognising a Swansea legend in Gomis. Well done, mate.
Remember when you used that sign Wilfred Boney off him?
Oh God,
Yeah.
That's the time.
he's worst.
Mate, he had
signing
a
I've ever
very
seen.
good season, didn't he? He had a very good season.
At Swansea, yeah.
Mate, he was the worst striker I've ever seen at the club. He was awful.
He's
Yeah.
Dutch,
Honestly.
wasn't he?
Even like
Yeah.
Siberski on his day had he scored.
Antoine Sivierski.
Anton
Yeah.
Siberski, he was a 1 in 6
Slap it.
kind of striker, but
Yeah.
he was physical. Boney was awful.
Who else? You signed Rocky Santa Cruz as well, didn't you? From
Yeah.
He was injury
He was from
plagued.
Blackburn, wasn't it?
Good player. He's still playing, you
yeah,
know.
we-
Grealish in
again.
the box.
Penalty.
Good
That's a
tackle
really
by
good tackle.
Holden.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rocky Santa Cruz is still playing in the Paraguayan league
Is he?
for real. He's 42 years old.
As we were saying before, I was rudely interrupted by these two clowns. Super 6 is sponsoring us. Thank you very much to them for sponsoring us. We have been getting involved now. I've been playing for an awfully long time, you know, and it's great. It's free to enter. You predict 6 score lines every round. If you get 6 correct, you could win £250,000. But not only that, if you enter our league, Club S6, and you finish at the top of that league for that round, you'll get £100 classic football shirts voucher as well. So in one weekend, you could get £250,000 plus a new football shirt. It's not
So you
bad,
could
innit?
get £250,000 plus 100.
Yeah. With Wilfred Boney on the back with a Man City retro kit. Unbelievable, lads.
Yeah, so join our league, please. We want to hit 5,000 entries into our league today. We're on 4,800. Once we hit 5,000, we will reveal Buvey's London
Yes,
Marathon.
please join
embarrassing
our Super
London
6
Marathon
League,
score.
Club S6. Please join our Super 6 League right now because I really want Buvey to reveal to the second. Like I don't mind doing mine. I ran the London Marathon, 3 hours, 56 minutes, 52 seconds.
Oh, go!
He's missed again.
You're missing some sitters here. So far, I'm on for another good score this week. I had 12 last weekend. I'm on for 6 this weekend so far. I've nailed the golden goal because Kevin De Bruyne's goal came in the 7th minute. I got Aston Villa to win, correct. I got the Leeds game wrong. But if City score once more, I've got a nice 5 points there. I've got West Ham to win 2-1, Brentford to beat Chelsea as well, and Brighton to beat Forest. So I could still be earning a few more points this weekend. City should have made it 2-0 there.
In fairness, Ramsdale's actually redeemed himself a touch, hasn't
Couple
he?
of good saves there.
Yeah.
It was a good save from him and a good follow-up to get the ball away as well.
Bad finish though.
But
Is
if the
this
ball
Real
went through his
Madrid
legs
last
there, we
season?
would have been questioning it.
Does this remind you of Real Madrid last season? We couldn't finish off Real Madrid.
You're not playing Real
You know.
Madrid though. That's
Yeah,
the lucky
but in
thing
the
for
sense
you.
had-
of,
if they
just
had
in the sense of
Benzema
when you
up
have
front,
you know what I
5 or
mean?
6 chances and you don't make it 2 or 3-0.
This
you
game
have to
doesn't
make it
feel
2 or
like
3.
that.
You don't think that? Yeah.
It doesn't
No.
feel like not to me.
No, yeah.
You know what normally makes me feel a way about a team and we can't hear it? You know when you can hear the crowd?
Yeah.
Because the crowd normally tell you how they
The
feel
tense.
about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I think
I
that-
can imagine City's fans are partying right now.
I would be.
I don't think you can party at 1-0. Look, if you're an Arsenal fan, you're happier than a Man City fan at the moment, I think. Which sounds ridiculous, but I truly believe it to be true. Because if you're a Man City fan, you think we've had the run of the play, we've done everything, and we're only winning 1-0. They should be so out of sight. The title should be over, actually. If City win this 4-0, I think the title's over, and City should be 4-0 up.
What are the chances? I mean,
Mate, anything can
some
happen. They get a
world-class
corner in a
blocks.
minute. Arsenal get a corner in a minute, and it's scrambled over the line.
I don't know. Okay, there's one chance I think Haaland should score. I think the rest
Oh,
are very
right,
good.
here we
saves.
go.
Two Haaland himself.
Grealish giving the ball away. Erdegaard's on the ball. He's
Dude,
found
come on.
Zinchenko.
Ramsdale saves
Out on
on
the
the
left.
Talking about the block.
He's hit- no,
He's
he's
whipped
hit
the
one
ball into the
wide.
box.
He's hit it wide. Remember I just said
Oh,
they
the
get a
one-
corner
the
in
one
a minute.
wide
You know
to
what I
wide.
just said? They get a corner in a minute and they
wide.
scramble it over the line.
Yeah.
No, hang on a minute. You're being far too generous to Haaland.
Why?
The miss that he hit wide, the one that that didn't even hit the target,
Yeah, but he had
and then the one that
he
Ramsdale
couldn't go
saved.
across the goal.
I think he
He
needs to
couldn't-
score.
He couldn't go across the goal.
Ooh.
Is there a penalty there?
No, it's not a penalty. But Diaz has headed the ball and then kind of the side of his body where his ribs and stuff has collided with
Akanji.
collided with Saka.
He's been unbelievable.
It
Diaz.
would have been a sore one that for Diaz.
He's the best centre back in world football for me, Ruben Diaz. Unbelievable. He's been unreal this season.
Would you say that he's your standout defender this year, more than John Stones?
It's hard because they've both had injuries at different points. And if they're both fit all the way through the season, it's hard to say. John Stones and Diaz are the best for me. Unbelievable.
And out of the two,
I take Diaz as a centre back all day long. All day long. He's the best I've seen since Company.
Guys, we've had a super chat from Guy Aldridge. Says, evening lads, who finishes higher, Villa or Spurs?
Villa.
Villa.
They got the momentum. But Villa's last 5 games, they play Spurs in there, don't they?
Yeah, they battered them.
Villa's last 5 games are pretty tough. I know they've got United next.
I can't believe the season that Tottenham have had, you know. I just cannot believe the season that Tottenham have had.
Then they've got Wolves away, Spurs at home, Liverpool away, Brighton at home. Their fixtures make me think they might, but Spurs don't look like it.
When do you play Tottenham? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah.
So you beat them.
Then they've got Liverpool.
Look at the feet here from Haaland, right? He gets through. Sorry, Booth, that's not.
He got
That's a
stuck
bad.
under his foot.
Yeah, but
That was an earlier one. That.
Buvey, you have to. I know with Haaland because he's such a good player. But how would you react if Kai Havertz did that? The quick feet, and there's the one wide. Come on, I'm right here, mate.
You're right about that. You should bury that, and he's better than
And
that.
the one where he does the quick
honestly,
feet.
he gets stuck under his feet.
Yeah, but that's.
Yeah, if it gets stuck under his foot, you can't generate more power.
He gets stuck
if
up-
it's a clean
No.
strike, and he's got a clean amount of momentum.
Why
to do,
was
he
it
should be
stuck?
scoring.
Why was it stuck under his foot?
Because it's bobbled off the defender, innit?
No, because of his quick control, his close feet.
I think we're too
no,
harsh.
mate.
We're
If
jumping
Kai
on his back
Havertz
here.
did that, you'd be going, and I would as
Shit.
well. Yeah, I would as well. But
Yeah.
you have to judge it by the same standards.
No, I can't.
But
I can't.
But he made a mess of that chance.
If the ball gets stuck under his feet and he's moving at a pace, he can't help but slow himself down. And the ball's stuck under his feet, then that's just the reality of where he is.
I've got some good news for you, by the way, Rory.
I doubt this.
Because
I've got a feeling
because
I'm being set up
because
here.
of the
I'm being
timing.
trolled.
No, don't worry, it's half time. Another goal hasn't gone in. But because of the timing of these games today, you're going to get to enjoy 15 minutes of Chelsea during the half-time break.
No, I don't want it on.
Yeah, we're going to
Switch it on, lads. BT Sport 5.
I don't want it on.
Thursday night.
They got the hockey on BT
BT5.
Sport 4.
Mate, we don't even
Under
make
21
you know,
Latvian hockey on BT Sport 4 right now.
You know we don't even make any European football. Like you've
no
got like the
conference.
3 tiers of Europe. 1 is you're desperate for. 2, in my opinion, you want and you want to win. 3 doesn't count.
Let's not get in there. Yeah.
We don't even make 3.
Yeah.
That's how
You
bad-
want that,
might be
though.
good.
You want that.
One game
You want a
one game a
clean
week.
season, domestic season.
I wish we were in the Europa. I'm glad we've avoided this conference thing, but I wish we were in the Europa.
Yeah, but if you're not in Europa, you don't want to be.
I
in
really
the
don't think you're
conference.
that far off, you know. I think you got the kid coming in from Leipzig and Kuku's a very good striker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
Forgot about
they
him.
got the goals. People forget about that.
Lukaku
We've got the
potentially
goals.
come back.
In Kuku's a very good. He's one of the highest scorers in
Oh,
Germany.
here we go. John Stones!
Ah, get in!
Offside.
Oh man!
Offside.
Oh man!
He shouldn't be
This
offside
will
there.
be checked. He shouldn't
Hang
have
on.
been offside.
He shouldn't be offside in that situation. You can't
He
be
did look
offside
a
when
bit
you're looking
guilty.
along the line. Look, he's got the perfect view. He's got the same view as the linesman. Don't be idiot.
Yeah,
The
Idiot.
thing is,
The
as
dummies
well,
caught him
whoever's that, is that Mark? Who's that? Ben White at the back.
Yeah.
He's kind of gone with him, which has given him more space. Like he shouldn't have been offside there.
What a shame.
Um,
He didn't need to go there,
you're right.
Stones.
You're bang on.
we are into injury time, by the way. There's been 2 minutes added on. That goal is defo offside. Club S6. If you want to join our Super 6 League, please do. Download the app. It's real good fun as well. Enjoying Super 6 right now.
God, I think there will be if we don't win this game now. At the start of this game, okay, a draw, whatever. You don't want to be too arrogant about it. The way we've played this first half.
Hang on.
What?
That might be
Has he
standing.
been played on?
Oh my
on the
God,
far
yes.
side?
That might stand.
But
you know.
because it's only his arm that's
Yeah,
off, isn't
so
it? And
it
look at the
should be up
foot.
to
Look
the
at the
sleeve.
foot on the far
It's
side.
the
The
foot.
boot. The orange boot.
This goal, Arsenal.
I'm not saying it ever again. I'll retire from saying that, lads.
Come on, one more for the road movie.
Come on.
Can you pour me one for the road?
I don't
That's
agree. I
onside.
don't agree with this, by the way.
That's onside. No, that's correct.
That's a goal.
onside.
That's going to be a goal
This
because
is
his
why
arm is
VAR
offside. And
I
you
don't agree
can't
with
score a
this
goal
in
with your arm, so
principle.
it doesn't matter.
That's onside.
It's
Oh,
onside.
it's
goal.
green. It's a green
Been
light.
given. The goal's been given. It's 2-0 to Manchester City. Why is Elliot
Goal.
celebrating?
Everybody's celebrating.
1 minute.
Why are you
I backed
celebrating
Man
your
City
mug?
minus a goal.
Nah.
So what is it?
You were right as well. It's a goal, mate.
So why aren't they celebrating?
Because they don't know yet.
We
We've
know,
got.
they don't
We've
know.
basically got the tech, haven't
He
we?
knows.
Now he knows.
He knows.
Oh,
John Stones.
Do you know that's an example? That's an example of everything wrong with VAR.
No, that's
John Stones has scored. No, it's an example of why, like the passion,
spontaneity,
the
yeah.
spontaneity, the passion has been taken. John Stones' celebration ended up him going like this on his own.
But also,
it's terrible.
let's now say.
I'd rather it be offside.
No. Okay, but wait a minute. No, you wouldn't.
I would.
Wait a minute. Let's say that goal doesn't stand because the linesman's giving it offside.
Yeah.
Arsenal go and score. They draw the game. You are sitting here saying...
No, but I just want the linesman to get it right on the... bang on the
VAR's ruined the sport I love. I don't care about this goal against.
No, but
this is one season amongst millions
Hold on a minute.
of seasons.
Hold on a minute.
No,
Look, I never
rubbish.
wanted VAR from the
That's
start.
rubbish, Adam. This is the Premier League title race. You having a laugh?
I never wanted VAR from the start, but just listen to me for a second. Me, you and Rory sat here and went, oh yeah, that's offside. It's not going to stand.
Yeah.
VAR's shown us that should have stood. That's correct.
Yeah, and
this is in a game that is pivotal for the title.
Yeah.
So,
Adam, I've been
why
saying it
are
for
you
years.
complaining? That's the one you want to do.
Because
we
I've
played
said-
Chelsea once. Drogba was offside. He scores. They win the league.
Oh, was that there?
He's the only more
Because I made the argument as much as it's
Oh, look,
ridiculous.
it's going now.
Yeah, it's getting aggy now. I think human error is a part of any sport, unfortunately.
This is going to go into standby mode, lads.
Wait, was there an ag here? I like this.
Is Zinchenko crying again?
Scenes nobody wants to see,
You want
but
heads
everybody
to go.
wants to see.
Zinchenko
I
crying
want-
into his
I want
Kleenex.
heads to go.
Thomas Partey's furious.
What are they on about?
Partey's having it with Edison. Who wins that
Moaning.
straightener?
They're 2-0 down. They're bottles.
Hi.
That's a free kick to us. That's a free kick to us.
Just in case you're a betting man, guys, Man City now 1-12 for the title.
They've won it, haven't they? They've won it.
That's a free kick. Yeah. Now Ben White's diving. Ben White
Oh,
dives.
no. They're studs down the back of the car.
Ruben Diaz could be gone here,
Studs
bro.
down the back of
You're
the
not
car.
gone for that. You're not gone for that. He's tried to get the ball.
Ruben
No, he's-
Diaz should get sent off. for that.
The studs down the back of the car is bad. Is a
He's kicked him in
Give
the
him a
back
yellow
of
and
his heel.
move
lucky
on.
there.
Whether you think it's a red or not, or you
What
think
world
it's
are we
soft or
living
not,
in?
he's lashed out at another player. He should be sent off. That should be a red card.
I take the linesman, by the way, making a marginal call of being wrong, but marginal versus that 3-minute
No,
wait.
you don't.
That I do. That 3-minute wait where all the climax is gone for the moment. The most beautiful thing about football was the drama of football itself, and that's been ripped out this game. This is the biggest game of the season, Adam. It's the biggest game of the season.
So there's more importance for you to get the decisions
I don't
right,
care
bruv.
about the end results. I care about
Yes,
how
you
we.
do.
No, I don't.
Everyone
No, I
does.
don't.
Yes, you
The
do.
Aguero moment had no VAR. The drama of it was VAR-less, and it was unbelievable. If there's VAR in that moment, it would have ripped the heart and soul away from the Aguero moment. Honestly.
It would have probably been ruled out for fouling the build-up
Yeah,
as well.
it would have been. Balotelli got dragged down and he was stamping on
And
people.
rightly so then. It would have been a foul.
No, it's not, because nothing's ever right anyway.
And then
VAR.
United would have rightly won the league.
You're
I can't believe
trying to
it.
get to objective
It's half
truth in
time,
football.
2-0.
Ah, man.
You can't
I never wanted VAR from the start, but you can't
in
complain
football.
when it gets the decision right, bruv. I just
I'm
feel like
complaining about
everyone,
how it's happening, Ad.
about 10 years ago, everyone, every week,
No.
kept moaning and moaning and moaning. Oh, we need VAR. There's so much money involved in football. People
never
are
said
getting
it.
relegated.
I never said it.
People are losing their jobs because of referees. We need video assistance.
I never said- who
And then
said
you
that?
bring video assistance in. VAR gets decisions correct. And then knobs like you are moaning.
Why are you calling me a knob? You're
moaning
a tit.
when you've just been rewarded a goal to win the fucking league.
I'm complaining about how we get to those decisions. The means does not
Don't-
justify
they
the
quickly-
end. I love football, Adam. I love the drama of football. I
So do
grew up
I.
on it. Well, you clearly do.
I never wanted
You'd
VAR
rather-
from the start.
You'd
That's
rather
the
get
point
some
I'm
sort of
making.
scientific
But
objectivity.
it's like me complaining about
You're more
something.
interested in scientific objectivity in football than how we get there. That was poor. Do you not agree? John Stone's celebrating by himself.
Do I think that's
what
a
football's
downside
about?
to VAR? Yes.
Yeah, and that is bigger than VAR itself for me. That's my opinion. That's worse than VAR.
It's not.
I'd rather City just score a fair goal.
I don't know about you lot, right? But we've had this game on for a few minutes now. And I haven't seen a Brentford player touch the ball. The passages of play here. Look at the way Chelsea are stroking it around. Who is their manager? We are. Oh, look at this incisive football. Look at this. I'm going to be ole. Look how good. Oh, too easy. You see that pass there? Mate, don't time it. Don't go for a wing now. You're going to miss Lampard's blues. Don't do that. What are you doing? You're going to miss this.
Well,
Look, we're in behind here. Look how good we are. Move. If you're going to duck.
Yeah,
Or don't just like pretend to duck.
Yeah, it's like if you're going to do the London Marathon, finish
Yeah,
it.
if you're going to do the marathon,
Yeah.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't just pretend. Token gesture.
If you want to find out Buvey's time in the London Marathon, join our league on Super 6. It's Club
at the way
S6.
we're
Download the app and get in our league. It is free to play. It doesn't cost you a penny. So please get involved. Remember, T's and C's apply. Right.
Brazil. It's just like watching Brazil.
We're going to bring you back to reality a little bit.
Oh, look at the trickery. We're so good. We're
be
so
fair,
good.
that
It's
was-
unbelievable.
that was quite good from Mudryk, to be fair. Look, if Buvey never said it, he would have gone, oh, he's
Look
not
how
even
good
that
we
quick.
are. Oh,
He's not even that quick with Mudryk.
Janelt's terrified. Yeah. God, we are so good. Look at it. Oh, look at that. Lured him in. Pulled it across. Oh, the football. The football. This is total football. Johan Cruyff, eat your heart out. Come on, you Blues. Mate, I haven't seen a Brentford player touch the ball. This is, look at that pass. Mate, Kante, dropping deep, going forward. We're just unpredictable. On fire. Your defence is terrified. Oh, Sterling, see you later.
I've never wanted Chelsea to score more than I do now.
Mate, look at this football. I haven't seen a Brentford player touch the ball.
Just for
See you later, Sterling. Get it in. Get it in. Yeah! Come on, Blues. It's so good. It's unbelievable.
Somebody just threw in an overhead kick in there. The new Rory was
mate, they're
watching.
defending for their lives.
Who's number 9? I saw Aubameyang in it.
Mate, it doesn't matter because it's just the system. It's just Frank Lampard's system. It's all like interchanging liquid football.
Talking about Frank Lampard, he is only your caretaker manager.
Not if this carries on, mate. God, have you seen it? Have you seen this? Honestly, we've had this game on for a fair few... Look, they're hoofing it. They're terrified. Mate, they can't get a ball off us. Look, every Chelsea player in the opposition half. Oh, look, easy. Look at his passing, mate. Wow. That's all I can say. Wow. Wow. God.
So, Frank Lampard is currently Chelsea caretaker manager. Next up for Chelsea is Mauricio Pochettino. Now, I've seen some of your reaction to it, although I don't get some of your reaction to it. So I want to find out more. First off, for those that don't know, what are your initial thoughts and what's your initial gut feeling to the news? Mauricio Pochettino is the next Chelsea manager.
I think overall it's fairly uninspiring. And I think it's also fairly worrying. So the reason that I'm anti the move, don't get me wrong, when Mauricio Pochettino is announced as Chelsea manager, I will, of course, pledge total support to him. I will, of course, be desperate for him to win. I will give him nothing but 100% backing. And I really hope that it works out. I would love to be wrong on this. But my reservation is twofold. Firstly, Tottenham. Like, I think tribalism matters in football. I think rivalry matters in football. And Mauricio Pochettino is the personification of Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham and Chelsea are as big a rival as you can possibly be. Like, regardless of what's been going on at Chelsea, this is when Chelsea were very good, when Chelsea were very bad, and then even pre-existing that. The one constant at the club has been a hostility to Tottenham. Chelsea fans dislike everything to do with Tottenham.
For those that want to kind of get a taste for it, we can all remember that game between Chelsea and Spurs at the Bridge,
which was Pochettino.
Yeah,
and that should be Pochettino's lasting memory at Stamford Bridge. Pochettino should be crying in the away dressing room with Danny Rose. That's where I think Pochettino is. That's who Pochettino is. He shouldn't be in the home dressing room trying to get wins out of Chelsea.
In the daylight, though, don't you think you're being a little bit harsh?
Yeah, almost definitely. I'm a Chelsea fan and I'm a tribal Chelsea fan. I'm not going to approach this like a businessman with a business mind. I'm going to approach it with loyalty. I'm going to approach it with loyalty and blind love of my team. But there is also a second strand to this conversation. I think this is an interesting one to debate, but I don't rate Pochettino as highly as everyone else. And I think that the Pochettino...
Well, you don't rate him as highly as me.
I don't rate him as highly as you. And I also don't... I also think that his appointment is slightly worrying. Here's for why. What Pochettino's good at, what people tell me he's very good at, is like cultivating young talent, bringing young talent through, nurturing footballers. That model is a worrying one for Chelsea because that isn't really Chelsea's model. And if our methodology now is to nurture... Ultimately, it would suggest that we're going to nurture and sell. So we aren't going to be the best. We aren't going to try and compete with Guardiola. We aren't going to try and win the league. What we're going to do is try and become profitable.
But Chelsea do have one of the best academies in world football.
But it seems to me, with an appointment like Pochettino, like, you know when Chelsea were brilliant? When Chelsea were at our very best, so when we won back-to-back leagues.
No, but Chelsea at their very best combined... young English talent, whether you bought it or it came through your system. Ashley Cole, Frank Lampard still fall into that box. And, good investment. Chelsea combined those two things at their best.
But my worry with Pochettino is that, you know how they constantly buying like young players, like this focus on the youth, young. I want all of the players are aged between 18 to 22 and all that, right? Yeah. I totally disagree with that. Because I think that the reasoning is to sell him on. Ultimately, what happens is you sign Enzo Fernandez, Pochettino develops Enzo Fernandez, and Enzo Fernandez, when he's in his pomp, is sold to Real Madrid for 200 million quid. I think that is the method. Whereas if you bring Luis Enrique in, somebody who will compete with Guardiola, you bring Luis Enrique in, then you sign the best player of today, not the best player tomorrow or the best young player. Like this whole focus on kids.
Don't you want
I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
Blood its youth though. Does use it, like for example, we're immediately hearing now Mason Mount, who's been linked with Liverpool very closely for the last 5 months. We're now hearing he's possibly going to stay at Chelsea. I thought that would have been something you would have been.
Oh no, I'd love Mason Mount to stay, but I think Mason Mount is one of our best players. But that's why I wanted to stay, not because he's a young player.
But that's just one of the examples. So he's going to nurture the youth and the talent that you've already got within your system, which is huge. You guys are always competing for the European trophies and the FA Youth Cup and this, that, and the other. Like you're always competing for that. So you have got the youth, and you've also got the ability to sign. When we say young players, we can also include Mudryk in that, Enzo in that. These are young, talented players that need nurture.
But they're not the finished article. And for Chelsea to have a chance of winning the league, for Chelsea to compete with Manchester United, Manchester City, Arsenal, we need to be signing the best players, not the best young players.
I think you'll sign a combination of that, though, because that's what Chelsea demand.
But we're not. It's, what you need is, you know this 18 to 22 or 18 to 25? What Chelsea need isn't that. What you need is, do you know what I would go? I would honestly say that to win a league, and it's 18 to 32. You know the way 32-year-olds are now? It's not like Paul Merson. It's like 32, you peak. That's what we need.
But you're not going to get immediate success.
You know what I find so frustrating as well? You know that misnomer when people go, you don't win anything with kids, when Hansen said it. He was right. You don't win anything with kids. And he was right about that team. That team, yeah, okay, you had Beckham in the team, and I think Gary Neville was in the team. But the reason they won the league is because they had Cantona up front and Schmeichel and whatever. That team, by the time they actually won the treble, that's not the season that he was talking about.
But we mixed youth talent with ready-made talent.
Exactly.
You can do that
because you bought the best. Because the reason that Manchester United won wasn't the reason that Manchester United won in the you don't win anything with kids season was because they went and bought the best one of the best players who won the league at Cantona. Well. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So the reason that you won the league wasn't the kids and bringing through the class of 92. It was Eric Cantona who won the league with Leeds, who was fantastic. Chelsea are in. And they have not scored, unsurprisingly. So no.
I just think you're looking at it from the wrong... Like, the way I would look at it is, I think he will place an importance on academy talent and young English talent or British talent, but they will be accompanied and complemented with some of the best talent that you'll be buying and recouping with the huge money that you have. But you also have to remember that you have to kind of nurture this talent, this academy talent, to be able to sell them on because of the FFP rules and all those kind of different things. But Poch, I think, one of the things for him at Spurs, and this is one of the reasons why when Manchester United needed a manager, I had two choices, Eric Ten Hag and Pochettino. I didn't care which one. I wanted one of them because those kind of managers are the future. They coach football, which is entertaining, progressive, mainly attacking, but also is tactically flexible in different kind of styles of games. But also they develop youth and they bring youth through, which is what I want my football club to be doing. But, you know, they're there with the modern managers and they compete with the modern managers. That's what you've got in Pochettino. And I think when you look at PSG and the case study there, it was difficult for... it's difficult for many managers. Tuchel even failed there. Tuchel's amazing, do you know what I mean? And when you look at him at Spurs, I don't think the demands were ever on him at Spurs to actually win the FA Cup or win the League Cup. We've seen what Daniel Levy wants now. He wants Champions League football to be able to get loads of commercial deals and all these different things. And Pochettino is a guy that with the demands of the club to win trophies, but also develop youth. And I think with that, he probably feels rejected by Spurs now. So that's going to give him another bit of a driving factor.
I think that's the reason that he's... I
fear Chelsea next season.
And
going forward.
I wouldn't fear Luis Enrique at Chelsea. I wouldn't fear them in the same way.
I don't think you need to fear Chelsea regardless, actually. I think that we're such a...
next season,
I think there's some news, actually, in this. Elliot, have you got something to tell us here?
Yeah, breaking in the last...
don't say Forest.
5 minutes or so. No, so that's not a scoreline. It comes from the Telegraph, who are obviously quite reputable. Pochettino is not using an agent and he is negotiating the finer points of the Chelsea agreement himself.
Yeah, that's good.
Because last time
I like that.
he was there for talks last time when they appointed Potter, and apparently Chelsea couldn't make the promises that he would have, not wholesale control, but more control. And I think he's going to have more control over what happens with your academy. I think you should be really excited by this,
me
bro.
too.
I think you've got that Spurs thing in your head and his past with Spurs in your head. But I actually think you love young English talent being developed at your club. You'll also love the football that he will play. And I think sooner rather than later, you will be laughing at Spurs fans saying, we've taken your best manager, your greatest manager in your Premier League.
There is a dream. There is a dream. Like the idea of Pochettino winning silver. Look, I love the idea of any Chelsea manager winning silverware, but it would be especially sweet if Tottenham's greatest manager since Bill Nicholson won silverware at Chelsea and didn't win silverware at Tottenham. But this is the other question then. How good is Pochettino? Because let's remember, it's all very well to say how well they played and, they were the best team over the calendar year and whatever. But his Tottenham teams, they were good. And they should have won silverware and they didn't.
No, but we look at them
they're
like
good
that
because of him,
him.
then they didn't win silverware because of him as well.
No, but they got to a point where they could potentially get to the Champions League. They don't get there without Pochettino. Pochettino was a huge part of that. And
I think if you look at the crop of managers that are doing well, De Zerbi at Brighton, you look at Thomas Frank at Brentford, even a little bit of Ten Hag, he's won something with Man United, however big that is. These are progressive young managers, relatively speaking. I think Pochettino is in that mould. I think he's in that mould. I think Chelsea needs someone. The last thing you need is Luis Enrique on a 2-year deal, and he signs another 31-year-old, or he signs a 29-year-old who's for 100 million quid. I think Pochettino, at the very minimum, I get the Tottenham thing 1,000,000%. I can't speak for you about how you feel about it. Of course not. But all I'd say is if he gets Badiashile playing as a Chelsea player the next 3 or 4 years, playing out of his skin, for example, a young player, for example.
He'll get them players running through the
Imagine
brick
Sterling
walls
working
for him as
hard.
well.
That Spurs side that beat us in the Champions League quarter-final, I know it was a dramatic game. They were a serious side.
They weren't a serious side.
Mate,
they
were
Leicester
hard
beat.
roarers.
What do you mean they weren't?
They were hard to beat. They were a serious side. They beat us. And they beat us.
They beat you.
We got
But
19
you weren't particularly good in Europe then. Monaco beat you the following year.
No, they didn't. Not the following
Monaco
year.
beat you the previous year then.
No, that's not true either. But no, Liverpool.
Yes, I mean, look.
Liverpool beat us at the same point the season before. Liverpool beat us.
You lost to Lyon. You lost to Monaco. You
Why are
weren't.
you bringing that up? It
You
makes no
losing.
sense. It literally makes no
because you're
sense to
saying they
argument.
beat us in Europe as if
That
that's a huge
season
thing.
we were incredible. We won a domestic treble that
in
season,
Europe,
Rory.
you're shit.
We got to the
You
quarter.
lost to Tottenham in Europe. That doesn't make Tottenham good. That makes you shit.
but
Because
it
you're
makes
shit in
them-
Europe.
we-
So
Tottenham's
we lost to
achievement
Real
was
Madrid
very
last
good.
season. So we lost to Real Madrid last season.
No,
Will
now
we
you're
just shit
bigger.
them?
Now you're bigger.
No.
Now
That-
you've
honestly,
you've
that point,
learned and
you were
you've
great.
evolved.
But
You've
also,
learned and
okay,
you've evolved.
It was a good result, Rory.
Rory, on that point, couldn't Pochettino have learned and evolved since his
But I
time
think
out
his
of football?
stock I think his stock has actually diminished
That's
slightly.
good for you because he's now going to become your manager and be huge. What would
Why
you
is it good
think?
if his stock's diminished? Why do I want somebody on the
he's
way?
got less to prove.
That is the issue.
And he's
PSG
he
time
can
was an
work
issue.
without all that.
The issue is Chelsea's more of a
Listen,
PSG than Spurs. That's the issue.
Lukaku and Poch. Do you think they should team up again? Do you think they could? How would you feel if he brought Lukaku back? Because there's been talk about that. Or would you like him to go after Kane? What are you thinking about?
I'd love him to go after Kane, but I can't see it. Kane would never play for Chelsea, I don't think. But I would love it. I'd love him to. Look, I desperately hope it works. I just think that his time at Tottenham ultimately was failure. And the lack of silverware really does trouble me. It's all very well being a good team. It's all very well capturing the imagination of people like he clearly has done you two, weirdly. But ultimately, they lost the league. They lost the league to Leicester. Chelsea slapped them out of the FA Cup one year.
Arsenal
Man
lost that
United
league to
slapped them out of the Cup one year. Whenever they should have been good, they bottled it. His two moments with the Premier League club. His two moments. One of his moments with the Premier League club is losing the most one-sided Champions League final I've ever seen. His other moment with the Premier League club is crying and not winning the league when Leicester City won the league.
We talk
but
about
Arsenal
the
could
Spurs
have won that
effect.
league.
The Spurs effect has affected Conte, one of the most serial winners in football at the moment. Jose Mourinho. The Spurs effect is bigger than Mourinho, lads. So little old Pochettino, who's come from Southampton. He's unbelievable at Southampton. He was unbelievable in Spain.
Also,
he won a
couldn't
cup with
we argue,
Espanyol.
yeah? Like Rory, and I kind of see where Rory's coming from, and he goes, "Well, he never won nothing at Spurs." Conte went there, didn't do as well as Mourinho at Spurs. As Pochettino, Mourinho went there, didn't do as well as Pochettino at Spurs.
I'm
he did
also
really well at
surprised that
Spurs,
he's doing it as
considering.
well, though. Like, you know how he talks about the loyalty? Like, he said he never played for Barcelona, didn't he? Said he never managed Barcelona because of the Espanyol league.
Yeah. Same
Where's the
thing.
loyalty?
Yeah,
I think the
yeah.
loyalty
Bang
would
on.
exist if it was Arsenal.
Yeah, but Chelsea during his time at Tottenham, the Chelsea rivalry was actually more significant.
That's true. Jake with a super chat says, "Boys, I've won a tour with you from Super 6. Get in." Unlucky, mate, but we'll see you soon.
What did he say?
He gets to spend. Remember, they get to meet us and that.
When's that? I've not been.
I don't know about that. Sorry, you said
I'm meeting random blokes off the internet. I've not been given a time.
Hopefully, it's not the day after you're running a marathon because you'll probably.
Why
still
are you bringing
be,
that up again,
like,
you virgin?
Why? What's with you calling everyone virgins?
So have they booked something in? When is that? Does he know when it is? Because I don't know when it is.
No, don't worry. We'll sort it out.
Anyway. I'm not doing that.
Anyway, you are doing that.
No, I'm not.
You are.
Where's it in my contract? I have to do that.
It was in the verbal contract we made with the audience. Yeah, Buvey will be there. Don't worry.
Give it.
How easy this is.
Look at that square.
Just not fast enough.
If anything, did you say press square?
I said square.
He said press
basic
square.
football.
No, because there was no one square to him there. Yeah,
There was Haaland on the right.
he was a bit behind him.
Can you see, mate? You're close to the screen than I
I'd have
am.
been back.
Can we move the screen
I'd have been
closer,
back.
lads? For God's sake, it's so far away.
Shut up anyway. We got to do something. Thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring us yet again. We do really appreciate you guys. NordVPN have some exclusive offers for you. The link is in the description below. NordVPN.com/the club offers you obviously great security on your internet usage. Also, if you're away from home, and for example, let's say you've gone on holiday this summer and you're someone, or maybe not even in the summer, let's say you're going on holiday between now and the end of the season, yeah? And Match of the Day is on at the weekend and you want to tune in to Chelsea losing that weekend or Arsenal battling the title yet again that weekend. But Match of the Day is not available in the region that you're in. Well, you use your VPN, you make sure that your region is now the UK and you can watch Match of the Day in any other country, or even if you want to catch up with, like Buvey goes away, he wants to catch up with Love Island when he's away, weirdly enough. He can do that. Yeah? I'm a Celebrity's on right now. You might want to catch up with that when you're away. You can do all that. So NordVPN allows you to do that. They've got some exclusive offers, 30-day money-back guarantee, 4 months free. NordVPN.com/the
it's
club.
truly brilliant, Nord. I do love it. It's the best VPN out there. Make sure that you head over to NordVPN for all of your VPN needs. It's so affordable. It is comparable to the price of a cup of coffee.
Yeah, how much is the price of a cup of coffee in San Diego, Adam, mate? You got to let me know about that.
I know, I'm going to San Diego this summer.
He's going to San Diego. But all jokes
heard.
aside, if you're getting your flights to San Diego or wherever in the world, if you use a VPN, you get the cheapest possible flights because a VPN obviously stops websites tracking you across the internet. So make sure you check it out. The link is in the description down below.
I've got bad news. Go on, Elliot. Take it away.
West Ham 2, Liverpool 2, West Ham 1.
Oh, what a
It doesn't
shame.
really matter anymore, though, does it? Like,
If they're above Spurs in the league now.
Oh, and
Spurs
also-
have dropped to 7th.
Sorry, there's one we forgot. Forest 2, Brighton 1.
Wow.
wow.
the FA Cup
That's the impact
semi-final.
of the Man United game.
That's going to
shattered.
impact Super 6 massively, you know. That result there, because I imagine
Nobody's
a
done
lot
that,
of
yeah.
people have gone,
Right,
ooh,
win.
I'm getting 5 points for the City game at the moment, by the way.
I need
well done,
two
Adam.
more goals. Come on, City.
And I need 2 more Brentford goals and a Chelsea consolation for 5 there. Fingers crossed, eh?
Is this weird? I just don't feel this is a title game.
Are you feeling it too easy?
It is mathematically. It is mathematically.
No,
But
and it is
why am I
mathematically.
sat here like not
It is-
shitting myself?
It is the teams as well, though. Like, it isn't only mathematically. Like, these are the two teams top of the league. In fact, Arsenal are currently top of the league.
Yeah, but you know what I'm trying to say in the sense.
You know what
I think it's
it is,
because
though,
where
as
the
well?
nerves? I get
Because
nervous
it's
about
too
I think
anything.
in the last couple of weeks, Arsenal fans have just started to accept they haven't won it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about top 4 now.
Doing tweets
they?
like,
Yeah.
I'm really proud of this team. And like, bro, you're 5 points clear at the top of the league. You're already giving up.
Yeah, I saw Joel Bayer posting a picture of him kissing the Premier League title.
Yeah, what was all that about?
Trophy.
What was it? He had the trophy.
Yeah,
The
he's
actual
got an inflatable trophy.
Oh,
That means he's gone somewhere on Amazon to buy an inflatable Premier League trophy. That's
Yeah.
pathetic.
He hasn't bought that.
And then he's
has-
blown it up.
Yeah,
He's blown it up.
He's bought that little cat. You know that cylinder.
there.
You know that cylinder of nitrogen or whatever it is. Yeah.
I'm going to kill them on TikTok when I blow this up. Going to pretend we've won the league this week. Oh, Arsenal losing 2-0 to Southampton, are they? All right.
Let the air out. But shout out to Joel Bayer, some of the worst chat in the industry.
Oh, God.
2-0 to the City. I love football. Official.
Yeah, this is. I
It's
mean,
not
this is
good
it.
though, is it?
Arsenal. What's the moment for Arsenal this game so far? 51 minutes in. Give me a moment where they should score. Really test us. Make
They haven't
us
had
sweat.
one of them.
They haven't had one.
Seriously.
They haven't had one. No. They needed to keep it 1-0, you know. They really did need to keep it 1-0. They desperately needed that John Stones header to be ruled out.
I really think there's an eye test in football. I know we like stats and the kind of all these kind of little things in football, the kind of XG. I look at Arsenal. I don't think they've made City stress today. It's not been a tough game physically. They've not put a foot on anyone. It's just been soft. Arsenal look soft today. That's the reality. I'll get slagged off by Arsenal fans, this, that, the other. We're a great young side. We're an aspirational side. The Emirates is bouncing again for the first time in 15 years. The corporate ring's bouncing.
Like
well done, lads. The corporate ring's bouncing for the first time in 15 years. These guys have got a soft underbelly. They do.
Corporate ring.
The corporate ring.
There is something.
Oh,
he's done him again, Haaland. He scores
Gabriel
it.
got left there.
Oh,
He's missed a sitter.
He's had a mare.
Well played, Ramsdale, to be fair to him, but he's missed an absolute.
Did he have too much time? Is it one of them?
Erling Haaland could have beat the record today.
Oh my God.
What, most goals in a single Premier League season?
We have 100 players who are within one goal of 250k on Super 6.
What?
Can you believe that?
What's the goal?
At the moment, we've got
Could be anything.
the one that's top of
Yeah.
oh, he's buggered it there, hasn't he? So basically, fella top of our league at the moment, Adam Holmes, predicted 1-0 to Villa for Fulham, 1-1 in Leeds Leicester, 2-0 in this game, which it currently is, 2-1 to Liverpool.
Go on.
Oh, Kevin De Bruyne.
Oh, get in there!
Kevin De Bruyne has just ended.
Oi, Kevin De Bruyne. Love it.
And that's Super 6 for you, ladies and gentlemen. It can change in a second. It is over.
Oh, Kevin De Bruyne. It's like a Glory Resta fan hit.
Oh, my God. What a finish that is. He's been a better finisher than Haaland this game. Haaland's been
Terrible, yeah.
the provider.
Told you.
This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable, lads.
Could you argue Saliba's importance to this Arsenal team
Bigger than anyone.
is the same as Van Dijk's to that Liverpool team?
Maybe, yeah.
I think you could.
But the space at this midfield from look at this. This starts from an Arsenal
Mate, the
attack.
Arsenal are in possession. What are they doing?
It's-
Odegaard.
Odegaard gives it away first time. He's trying too much on the ball. That's not Saliba. You know, Saliba's caught out anyway.
But you know what that is as well? It's
Bad
like
keeping
nutmeg
as well,
them.
I think.
they're very passive, Arsenal. So, you know, in that instance, Thomas Partey was on his back heel rather than his front foot. So when the ball come, instead of being able to be in a position where he could just immediately challenge for it, he's on the back foot, he's backing off. De Bruyne gets onto it. That's what City do to you. They get you nervous in possession. Holding gets meg.
I've been saying it on everything. The overlap. I know I got laughed at the overlap, didn't I, Adam?
Yeah, you did.
I said to Gary Neville, I said, we smashed these lot at home. We smashed these lot.
Did they laugh at you at the time?
Yeah, laughed me out the room.
He went,
What,
no,
did
Gary
everyone,
never
didn't
went. You're just here to wind people up.
Yeah,
aren't you?
I said we smashed these lot. They're not as good as the Liverpool side under Klopp. Not even the Ferguson side that we beat the Aguero season. They're nowhere near, and they're getting smashed.
Did
right
everybody
now.
disagree with you?
Yeah. Everyone's laughing me out the room.
Really? Like,
Yeah,
really?
honestly, 'cause I'm not. Of course, Arsenal could have beaten us today, but I
No,
just think
you.
they're
In
soft.
fairness to you, you've said to me from day dot about this fixture, we battered them at the Etihad.
We beat them in the FA Cup. I saw no signs of a fight. And do you know what? The big one, the Premier. Okay, we talk about squad rotation for the FA Cup. At the Emirates, we did the game, didn't we, lads?
Look, they're Poznaning.
Mate, they were soft at the Emirates. They're a
Listen-
soft side.
Yeah, no, mate, you are right. Listen, has there been another overlap filmed since your
We're doing
debut?
it on Friday.
Seeing them on Friday.
Are you there? Great.
Myself and Buvey going to absolutely.
Is it up in Manchester?
Yeah.
Are you staying up?
What do you mean?
We can sort
Stay
that
out.
out off
Why
camera.
do you want
no, I
to?
just
Why
wanna
do you want to
know.
know where my location is?
So,
Mate, you can tell me.
I'm somewhere in
As
the
it
UK.
Tell me.
I'm somewhere in the UK.
as it stands, 30 people could win £250,000
From our crew.
from our crew. If Arsenal score and it stays the same, so if this game ends 3-1 and all the other games stay the same, we will have a winner.
Of 250 grand.
But if you win 250 grand and you're in the club's
God.
league, you owe us 10%.
I want
But
10%.
we'll sort that out later.
So all of the other results need to stay the same and Arsenal need to nick a goal.
yeah, so it's
Wow.
probably not going to happen. But
I mean, it's possible, man. For 250, like the odds on that. I wonder if they... God.
if I said to you now, Chelsea could win or that guy wins.
No, I want the guy to
$250,000.
win the money.
Are you
Of course.
sure?
Yeah, I don't care. We're Brentford. Why
What
not?
if it was to win the Premier League this season?
No, then obviously I don't care about the gauge of money. Yeah, obviously then.
Just trying to find the
Yeah.
gauge in where we're at.
Yeah, no,
Just drops in the.
Arsenal in the box here.
No way.
no way.
Impossible.
God.
Impossible.
Impossible.
That is handball. Is that
handball.
not a Howland handball then?
We
How
need
can
it,
you
we
see
need
that
it,
from
we
1,000
need
miles
it.
away?
That's
How
handball,
can you
bruv.
see from 1,000 miles away?
I'm not 1,000 miles away. I'm
leave it to
looking
the
at it
ref.
through a camera.
Yeah, leave
I'm not
it-
looking
yeah,
at it
and that
through.
camera's
I'm not
1,000
looking
miles
at it
away.
through my naked eye.
Yeah.
I've got a camera with HD.
It's not a penalty.
it's not. It's
In a million
taking
years.
one.
His hands
No, that's handball.
grow up.
Just lean down to it.
Not everything's a narrative. Not everything's a. Just calm down.
He's brought his body
We're not in
towards
Corrie.
the ball.
Just calm down.
He's brought his body towards the ball.
Lads, I have some breaking news.
There's been a goal at Stamford
Here we
Bridge.
go.
Correct. 2-0 Brentford.
Brentford are a bigger club than Chelsea.
Oh shit!
That
That means Super Six
That
hopes are
will
gone.
change the standings for Super 6.
Ah.
Nobody has predicted Chelsea to lose 2-0 to
That's
Brentford.
how
But all
hard
of them
Super
have.
Six is.
Now there's 1,000 people.
But this is why you should enter, because Super 6 is free to enter. Club S6 to join our league. Please do. You could win £250,000 for free, mate.
You sack Lampard now.
Yeah,
There's
you
no
gotta-
point.
You got to just do
There's
it.
no-
What about Stellini at Spurs? You sack him for.
No, I wouldn't
Mason.
either. Like, look, with the Stellini one, that made no sense to me because you're getting all the worst bits of Conte with none of the good bits of Conte. So that just made no sense.
Yeah.
Frank Lampard was brought in to just get us to the end. Like, it doesn't matter. The games mean nothing.
But it's not. He hasn't drawn 5 games or drawn 3
No,
1
but it
1.
doesn't
He's
matter.
lost every
But he
single
could
game.
lose. He could lose every game between now and the end of the season. It's still not worth.
But you might get relegated. I'm not
No,
even
no, no, we
bantering
can't.
you.
We can't.
You can get relegated.
Of course we can't.
How many points you got?
Oh, mate, we've got an 11-point cushion or something.
I'm not even trying to like.
No, let's have a look.
You could get relegated.
Let's find out what the exact cushion is. We
What is
can't-
it? 42. I'm not even. You
Are Liverpool keeping their
have you got
slim
40
hopes of
points?
Champions League
We can't-
football
we can't
open
get
today?
Have you got 40
39
points?
points.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah. You might not win. Maybe
but
you might not get another point.
with
Rory.
10
And you listen
points.
to this, ladies and gentlemen. Rory Jennings and Buvey are having a serious discussion about whether Chelsea can still go
Lads,
down.
there are loads
Yeah.
of sides that
We're
get
not.
relegated
I'm
on
saying we
39 points. When's your next win then?
no, because it's not about Chelsea. But Buvey, as terrible as it is, there are 9 teams below Chelsea in the league.
Yeah, but they could all win.
They can't
too.
because they'll all play each other and stuff.
Who knows? You don't know. They might be
Alice,
playing top
No,
6 sides.
do you understand how fixture list works?
Yeah, I do.
If they play each other, they can't both win.
Southampton. There are 6 sides out of the relegation candidates. They can all pick up 6 to 9 points.
Oh, Forest are 3-1 up against Brighton.
If you don't win another game from now to the end of the
Buvey, can
season,
you
you want a
not-
relegation
Buvey,
battle.
Listen, it's impossible.
I'm not even trying to wind you
Don't
up.
panic. Jorginho is coming on.
Obviously, you need
Save
one
the
win.
situation.
You're safe. You're safe with 1 win
39 points. I guarantee you, I'll bet you now that
that you stay up.
39 points would be enough to stay up. I'll bet you now that 39 points, when it all comes...
But would you at least agree it's a relegation battle? If you don't win another one from now to the end of the season, that is a battle to hope that no one else gets a 39 points. Surely.
I just don't think, like I'm saying, I think that Chelsea are already safe. So therefore, we're not in a relegation battle.
All right, lads. Chelsea aren't going to get relegated this year.
I'm not even.
But listen, it's now official. No one can win from our league this week
What a
£250,000 because of Chelsea can't even hold on to a 1-0 defeat.
shame. Hold on.
Pathetic.
For goal difference.
Can't even hold on to a 1-0 defeat. That's how bad we got.
And
To
Forest,
Brentford as well.
and Forest can't even just win by 1 goal for once. So, yeah, man,
It
that's
was
over.
Wicks.
But
Yeah.
Go on.
Rory
bit.
needs
Go on,
that.
whatever you want.
Rory needs
No, I'll
that.
just have a bit. I don't
I've got
want to
one.
take a whole finger.
All 3 of us can't eat at once.
Well-
So, someone's got
Ah, do you want
to
a
the people. What?
Do you want Twix, mate?
What?
Do you want Twix? You know what I'm saying? Right.
You're very good.
No Twix, Radham.
You're very good on this show.
It's
for-
revoked.
You've always got that little bit of
Snacks.
energy.
Yeah, yeah.
My sugar dips when I sat next to
You
you.
should have thought about that at the London
Yeah.
Marathon, bruv.
Mate, those Lucozade sugar pouches. I
He's
didn't take
pulling
anything.
any
sticks
gels,
out of his
No, I
arse.
didn't take anything.
I told you to
I
take
was so
gels.
cold, Wars. I was so cold,
Did you
mate.
see the lady
halfway
that
through I
won
started
the
freezing.
women's marathon, yeah?
Yeah.
She kept stopping and starting and stopping and starting. And Paula Radcliffe on comms was like, I think she should give up. And she went and run it.
But did you see what she did at the end? She offered this the girl
Oh, yeah, yeah.
water. But people
Mind
think,
game.
yeah, exactly. People think that was a nice gesture, mate. She was trying to get the
Mind
other girl
game.
to stop focusing about running.
Yeah. She was running next to the woman.
Who
That-
was?
The woman that eventually won the London Marathon. And while she's running, imagine me and you are running next to each other. She's drinking, she's going, "Do you want some water? Do you want
Was
some
that?
water?"
Is that
Right
what she
at
was-
the end. Yeah, going into
Really?
Westminster. She'd never run a marathon before professionally.
Incredible.
And she's got gold medal in 5 and 10K, so she's run every kind of distance.
Wow. What was her time that she?
2:08.
Amazing.
Yeah, and if you want to know my time, make sure you join the Club S6 on Super 6.
She did a 2:08. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I reckon you could double that and you're still nowhere near Buvey's
No,
time.
of course you're not. Of course you're not.
Lads, we're talking about something very nice there about this lovely lady that won the marathon. Congratulations to her. Don't slag me off.
What? Because I remember, you know, when we were talking, I knew that you weren't taking it. I remember saying to you, mate, this is serious.
Yeah.
We were talking about the gels and stuff, and you didn't do it.
I thought there'd be more gels on the race course.
No, but you need to train. Do you know why you need to train with them? Because they can give you a serious case of the 2 bob bits.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Theo Baker was saying that, actually. You did very, very well. Shout out to him. He did very well on the marathon.
You have to train with the brand that you are eventually going to run with.
Yeah. Is what it is, lads. We move and we go
another
again.
bit of that, Twix. That was weird.
Do another one,
yeah, just another half a bit. It was very nice.
Let's finish it off, lads.
You're very good on the snack front. I've never bought snacks here.
I need sugar.
No, it's very well.
Thank you to everyone for tuning in. We know you've got Arsenal fans crying to watch right now, but Rory and Buvey sharing a Twix might be the most wholesome thing you ever see on YouTube. So, you know, we're being the non-toxic side of football YouTube today, sharing Twixes and that. No, good.
Well, you're better than a Twix. Fuck off. Adam thinks he's going to San Diego. You're better than a Twix.
I didn't say I'm better than a Twix. I said no.
We all
thank
know
you.
what you're thinking. You think you're
The
better
way
than a
that you
fucking
said
Twix.
no, it was a very arrogant
Yeah,
no. It's
arrogant.
what could I not eat a Twix?
Well, you think you're better than a Twix?
That's not what I said.
You do think you're better than Twix.
what I said.
You give off a vibe that you're better than Twixes.
Twixes are decent.
You're a Galaxy
They're
guy.
quite
You think you're a
underrated.
Galaxy
No,
guy.
not Galaxy.
After 8. You think you're an after 8 kind of guy.
No.
Sit there,
After 8s
go
taste
to
like
the
shit,
sauna
though.
and the gym and all that, have a little, and then have an after 8 and all that. No. I'm a working man. I have a Twix, all right?
He's right.
You're a walking man. I'll tell you that.
Unbelievable today.
Mate,
Shout out to...
I was listening to the radio on the way up,
Yeah.
and there are a few City fans on there, and they were asking them for predictions. I know people be stupid when they're on the radio and that, but City fans are just going, yeah, we'll beat them 3-0. Yeah, we'll beat them 4-0. And it's just been nonchalant. They've known that they're going to win. It's mad,
I've been like that, and people think I'm trying to wind people up. It's like,
This could seriously... There's still half an hour to go, yeah.
it's 3-0. They've had no chances on goal. It's worrying. If I was an Arsenal fan talking about even getting back into it, the league after this,
Oh, God.
how do they get back in the league after this? They haven't been able to beat Southampton, lost to City.
They're not going to
essentially,
get caught by anyone.
lost to Liverpool.
They're not going to finish.
I'm not talking about third or fourth, but I'm saying how do they get back into a Premier League title race? How do they do it? Got Newcastle away, mate. I know Chelsea are bad, but
Look,
Chelsea will show up.
I know it's probably over, but you do play Brentford and Brighton.
Brentford, Brighton, Everton away.
Everton have been historically
Brentford away, final day of the
tricky-ish
season.
game.
Yeah. It's not over, but I'd take it every day of the week compared to where we were. You don't want to be Arsenal in this situation, that's for sure. It's been a weird season. I don't think anyone's really run away from it. Arsenal should be 14 points clear, 11 points clear. That's just the reality of the situation.
There's 7 minutes played of extra time in the Forest game. Forest are going to get a huge win for them. Huge win for them. By the way, as well, guys, I've seen a few people in the chat asking, where's today's podcast? I don't know if you noticed, but there's a huge game on today. The Premier League final is basically being played between Manchester City and Arsenal. So we delayed the podcast release until tomorrow so you can have reaction to that game between City and Arsenal. So remember, the podcast is going to be out tomorrow morning. Make sure you guys are leaving us some 5-star reviews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all that jazz. Help us climb those charts because our spot position has been slipping a little bit recently. And it doesn't help when you got people like Ben Foster helping Wrexham get promoted. So, yeah.
Al Robson Kanu said he's coming out of retirement. I thought the Wrexham lot were like, don't come out of retirement.
They're all pathetic.
Don't come out of retirement, Robson Kanu.
Oh, well, we want to come out of retirement.
It's pathetic.
I want a final payday at Wrexham.
Yeah, well, little old Yeovil Town are getting relegated to the Vanarama South. Yeah, these idiots are coming out, Deadpool and all that. Ryan Reynolds, move on to a new toy. Move on to Deadpool 5 or whatever stupid movie you're on and leave the football to the football fans. All right.
I don't think you should have that position on this.
Yeah, I know it's very comparable. It's actually very comparable to Man City because Man City were in a world of pain before Sheikh Mansour took over. We were 4 weeks away from administration. We couldn't pay our bills.
So why are you holding this position?
Well, because I don't like Wrexham.
Okay.
It's all right. So I'm allowed to be.
Good point.
bitter.
Well made, Boo.
Yeah. I don't want Wrexham promoted. But yeah, fair play to Ryan Reynolds, mate. Well done, mate.
Well done, mate. Yeah. If you want to come on a proper podcast, anyone from Wrexham, stop hanging around with them pitch side mugs. Yeah. Holler at the club. We are famously watched by Aaron Ramsdale, who has Buvey's head living rent-free inside his cranium while he's conceding goals at the Etihad.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, isn't it?
I feel sorry for the guy. You know, he is an average keeper that's been put into one of the biggest clubs in the world.
You know,
In a
as he
Premier
would have
title race,
conceded that,
he isn't good enough.
as he conceded that, he would have heard your voice calling him embarrassing.
Echoing. Honestly, I think about keepers that I grew up with. He's nowhere near Shay Given. He's nowhere near Niemi for Fulham. He's nowhere near Brad Friedel. I've not heard anything from Adam's side of the table, so I must be at this point not
going.
gassing. So I've said Brad Friedel.
Name me.
Um,
Mark Poom. Remember him?
Robinson.
Tim Flowers.
Tim Flowers. Tim Howard.
Tim Howard.
Tim Howard's a better keeper. He is.
Roy Carroll.
On his day.
Joe Hart.
Joe Hart's a better keeper.
Andy Gorham.
Can we go early 2000s? This is getting old for me now. Andy Gorham, never heard of him. But, you know, I'm just thinking about it.
Ed De Hoy.
That's 90s again. I
played
need
for-
early
he played for
2000s.
Chelsea, he played for
I need
Chelsea.
to. No, but I need 2000s,
He
mate.
played for Chelsea.
I need to. Cudicini.
Who was that-
Cudicini's a better keeper.
Yeah. Who was that keeper that played for Stoke?
At the
The
Hoy.
Danish one.
Not Ed De Hoy.
Sorensen.
Not Thomas Sorensen.
Sorensen was a better
better than
keeper.
him. Young English one. Butland.
Butland's a better
Butland.
keeper.
Yeah.
I'll take Butland over Ramsdale.
Lee Grant.
Lee Grant.
Not Lee Grant.
Yeah.
Not for me. No.
Lee Grant played for United.
I'm not taking the piss out of Ramsdale now. I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
But
because you are being totally serious
That's
here. right?
harsh. No, I was.
Yeah,
I'll
no.
that.
So let's keep listening.
So we did Brad Friedel,
Asmir Begovic.
Asmir Begovic. Is very
Begovic.
good, yeah.
What about the Hanneman? Remember Marcus Hanneman, the American for Wolves?
Oh,
Bold one.
yeah.
And Reading.
Ready.
A Reading legend. Oh,
We're
God.
naming keepers better than
Chelsea. Rory, give me 5 obscure early 2000s goalkeepers in the Premier
While
League.
Rory sits
Better than
down,
Ramsdale.
I'm going to do a few from the chat, all right? Bruce Grobbelaar, Rob Green, Sergio Romero, Brad Guzan, Pepe Reina, UC Askalainen,
Yeah.
Karius.
Lionel's excellent keeper.
Yeah. Jaskalainen was immense,
Yeah.
wasn't he?
That's
Keeper's
about it.
better
Ali
than
Al Habsi.
This is very harsh on Ramsdale.
Yeah. No, he was classy.
Who was
One
the
of the-
Wigan keeper when they got promoted with Paul Jewell? Pollitt?
It's Al Habsi, wasn't it?
Mike Pollitt.
Mike Pollitt,
When it
then
Mike
Al
Pollitt?
Habsi.
Schwarzer's a better keeper.
Mark
Schwarzer was very good for Middlesbrough.
Mate, we've just named
Casey
literally.
Keller.
Yeah.
Casey Keller.
We've named
Keller.
1,000 keepers better than Ramsdale.
Brad
and he's in
Friedel.
the Premier League.
Brad- Brad
Yeah, we said
Friedel.
Brad
Mark
Friedel.
Poom, Chris
Ben
Kirkland.
Foster.
Mark Poom
Ben
at
Foster
Derby.
on his day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy for West Brom.
Mark Poom.
So
Fabian Barthez, therefore.
So all these,
Steve
Shaka
Grizovic.
so all these guys
Shaka
start for,
Hislop.
they start for
Hislop.
Arsenal, lads.
Shaka Hislop, Steve Grizovic, David James.
Yes. This is where Rory's going to come into his own
Yeah.
now. Let's go, baby.
Yeah. Basically, Tim Flowers.
Yeah, we said Tim
Tim
Flowers.
Flowers,
Tim Flowers,
has
yeah.
got a name dropped.
There's a lot now.
Who was the Arsenal? Who was the Arsenal goalkeeper behind Seaman? Who was there?
I can see his face.
Who can I?
Not Nigel Martin.
Yeah,
Nigel
Nigel
Martin.
He played
Nigel
for
Martin was
City.
at Leeds.
Yeah, Stuart something. Stuart.
Yeah.
Stuart. Stuart Taylor.
Taylor, yeah.
Taylor.
that's
Stuart
right,
Taylor.
yeah. Raymond van der Houw. He's not
Raymond-
better than him.
Raymond van der Houw.
Who's the one at Man City, Jack? Third choice for ages.
Zach Steffen.
Scott Carson was there, but who's the one before that?
Oh,
Another Arsenal one.
Stuart Taylor, isn't it?
No, there was another one after that. Wright, something Wright.
Richard Wright.
Richard
Richard Wright,
Wright.
Everton.
Yeah, Richard Wright.
Ipswich.
Richard
Ipswich.
Wright.
Ipswich.
Neville Southall.
Neville's, yeah.
Tim Krul.
Nicky
Tim
Weaver.
Krul.
Jan
Nicky Weaver.
Stagecow. There won't be many remember him.
I said Niemi.
John O'Shea.
John Terry. John Terry at Reading.
Carl Walker
Yeah,
against
John-
Atalanta.
yeah.
Harry Kane.
It's a great game. Harry Kane, yeah. Harry Kane, John Terry, Carl Walker. It's a great game.
All these keepers, all gas aside, if you're listening or watching, wherever you are around the world, are better than Aaron Ramsdale.
Would you have Alex Meninga or Aaron Ramsdale?
Alex Meninga. He was Austrian, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Alex Meninga.
Oh,
I remember
mate.
he played against Fiorentina. I
Imagine
think, for
being to
Arsenal.
bring Mahrez on with 20 minutes to go.
It's crazy.
Funny how you remember all that stuff, isn't it? From when you do you know who I've always had a soft spot for? Like players like John Carew, players like
at Valencia. He was
John Carew at Valencia stopped Arsenal winning in Europe. He stopped Arsenal winning silver.
Villa, didn't he?
He had a great game against Arsenal, stopped them winning. Yeah. Gabriel Batistuta scored that goal at Wembley against
United,
Arsenal.
And Carroll let it through his hands. I was behind the goal.
Scored at Wembley against Arsenal.
There was a goal he scored because we used to be able to watch Italian football, couldn't we? There was a goal he scored, where you get indirect free kick in the box, and it was between the 6-yard line and the penalty spot, and someone just rolls it back to him and he twats it, and you don't even see the ball move. All you hear is just the noise of the net go.
Yeah, the ripple of the net.
It's like, bruv, it's just, oh man, I miss. Gabriel Batistuta was the guy. I really wanted him to sign for Man United, and then he scored against us. And you just remember the Nintendo shirts, isn't it? Is it Nintendo Fiorentina?
Yeah, they had Nintendo. Yeah,
great times.
Yeah,
Adriano at Parma as well.
Yeah,
before he went to Inter.
Yeah. Those obscure like 90s references, they always fill me with joy. Do you remember Ed De Howe? Ed De Hoy.
We mentioned him earlier in the goalkeepers that are better from Ramsdale.
Ed De Hoy.
We said I said Hanneman.
Mark Hanneman.
And no one said anything at the table. That's how bad Ramsdale is.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Mate, he had this weird goatee going on.
No, we're just playing a game now, though. We're not actually playing the...
Hanneman's a better keeper than Ramsdale.
No.
He is. No, I refuse to believe he's not.
No, sorry.
He's Chesney.
He starts for Juve in the Champions League.
Yeah. and Poland at World Cup.
I think he's terrible, though. I always thought Chesney.
No, but do you know, when you think about... Hang on a minute. This is another good game. Think about the goalkeepers that Arsenal have let go that are potentially better than...
Martinez.
Emi Martinez.
Fabianski.
Szczesny.
Yeah, but for the style of football that I know we're kind of joking.
No, it's a joke now. It's a joke. The game's over.
But his style of football is flapping at things, and I don't think I've not seen him pass.
Anyway,
the ball today.
Let's move on to a more serious debate that we'll actually have. In fact, I don't think this is a serious debate. Gary Neville did a poll earlier, and he said, "Who would you rather have, Saka or Martinelli,
Silva,
as one group, and Grealish or Mahrez as the other choice?"
Well, it's obvious.
Now, in my head,
winning the league, mate. This isn't a debate.
In my head, I go, Grealish is better than Martinelli. Mahrez is better than Saka. I know this season, Saka's been excellent, and he'd probably get into a team of the year ahead of Mahrez, for example. But you think about Mahrez last season, the sheer number of goals, the quality that he has, and he's got more goals than Saka this season, let's not forget. Mahrez is, for me, the better player. You got Grealish, Mahrez. The result of the poll, and this comes down to Arsenal fans more or less, 65% said Saka or Martinelli.
Yeah, social media FC.
That's ridiculous. That's just it's just a poll though on Twitter, isn't it?
Yeah, it means nothing.
Yeah, it means nothing. Sorry, I thought this was like actual salient point. This is just a poll. It's Arsenal fans. It's just biased Arsenal
nasty
fans.
Stones on Partey. They've had a couple now.
Do you know what happened a moment ago as well? It was Grealish. Grealish got done by Ben White a minute ago, unjustly, and I think it's now because Arsenal are now going to start fouling.
Yeah,
they got
they've shown nothing else today. They've shown no quality.
Is this a genuine thing? Like, are we actually debating this? Because I feel like it's going to be a very short conversation.
I was asking for your opinion. Why are Arsenal? Am I wrong? Is what I'm trying to find out.
No. The entire. Of course, Riyad Mahrez is overall a better player than Bukayo Saka. We can have a conversation who's had a better season, but of course Riyad Mahrez is overall currently a better player. And equally, of course, Jack Grealish is overall a better player than Martinelli. I think Martinelli's sensational, by the way. I think he's a really good player. I think the future is so bright for him. I love the way he plays. I love how direct he is. Goals in him. But the City wide forwards are better than the Arsenal wide forwards. Yeah. Of course they are. Like, I don't really have too much to add to this. I don't really have too much to add to this debate. I don't know if I'm going to be a little bit boring here. I don't know if I'm going to kind of kill it in
I'm glad you've done that because you've proven my point. Some of the final results coming through. This is the only game left in play at the moment from tonight's fixtures. Nottingham Forest have beaten Brighton. That's a huge result for Nottingham Forest. They have taken themselves outside of the bottom three now. The bottom three looks like this. I know we've got a long way to go. Well, we haven't, but we've still got 5 games left to go. Southampton, Everton, and Leicester are the bottom three right now. Those are some big clubs. Chelsea have been beaten by Brentford 2-0 at Stamford Bridge. West Ham have been beaten by Liverpool 2-1 at Olympic Stadium.
Yeah,
and
London
Man City
Stadium.
are currently beating.
I can't believe that we've been done by Brentford. I just can't. I just don't like. I love Lampard so much, but he's so bad at management now, isn't he? Like, oh my god. Like I love him so much. But my God, he's a lovely fella. But he should just get in a studio now, earn a load of money, be bussed around, chauffeur driven, and talk about football in a studio with your mates. Like,
What is his next club?
I don't
level?
think there is what, mate.
You really think he packs it in? I don't think he will. You're saying he should.
Do you know what I
but
think?
he won't, will he?
Maybe you're right, because do you know what I think the problem is? And you see it a lot in players like Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard. You know that will to win, that desire to get to the very top that served them so well in their playing career. Like Frank Lampard strove to be the best and wouldn't ever let people bring him down and wouldn't ever like had a never say die, never say no attitude. It served him so well as a footballer. But it's doing him such a disservice as a manager because he's adopting a similar thing here as a manager, and he's just got to pack it in. Like caretaker, he's like the Undertaker manager. It's like I think we've scored one goal. He's managed us for 5 games, and he scored 1 goal.
And that goal was a huge deflection.
And we lost as well.
Yeah.
Like
it's it's looking pretty bleak.
But this is what happens when you let James Corden pick your managers.
Yeah, it's not Frank Lampard's fault as well. Just like it's not Ryan Mason's fault or Stellini's fault. It's the decisions that have brought you to that position. Yeah. Now, the board have brought Frank Lampard in because they want to kind of chill the fans out.
Yeah.
But when Frank Lampard starts to fail, the fans aren't going to blame Frank Lampard. They're going to make you the target. And that kind of amplifies the problems that the board have. So even though they've brought Lampard in to kind of be this buffer and this safety net between them and the fans, it's going to work the complete opposite way.
Look at the text I've just got, like the most recent line
Can
of
I
the text.
read any of them out?
Yeah, I think the most recent line taps into what you've said.
Okay.
My mate who's at the game.
Yeah, Frank ain't doing himself no favours, and the fans are turning on the players.
That's what's happening. Like my mate's in the ground, he's got the fans are turning on the players now. So you know what you were saying, like they're not going to blame Lampard. The board
and they shouldn't.
No,
it's not Lampard's fault.
No,
maybe you can blame him for team selection on a day or a tactical thing, but Chelsea's ultimate issue isn't Frank Lampard's fault.
No, but do you know what? Do you think on any level? And look, I'm now of the opinion that Frank Lampard is done with, like it's just not worked. It's not that man. But the Chelsea players should be doing better, shouldn't they? The players should be doing more. This crop of players are just so spineless. Like they're so lacking in any kind of like.
I think the problem
pride.
that you have as well is, you know, when you've got a lot of new players in that dressing room, and you even hear things like there's not enough space in the changing room for everyone, so some people are separated from it. Like, you know, if that's a dressing room where half of the squad's been there for the full, for the last 10 years, so they feel at home. They know what Chelsea's about. You've got a lot of people that don't even know
the way
how,
around.
They don't know who that is.
Excuse me, mate. Where's the toilet?
Yeah, they don't know how Chelsea feels when they win.
Yeah.
So how do they revert back to old habits or anything when they haven't got them to reflect upon? I think there's just so many new people at Chelsea, and there's so many different issues. Like the amount of players that you've brought. This summer is going to be carnage at Chelsea. Who do you keep? Who do you sell? Who do you like? The manager's got such a problem on his hands in that sense, because he may go into the summer thinking, I want to keep him, I want to keep him, I want to get rid of him, I want to get rid of him. And then you get halfway through the summer and you realise, I can't get rid of him because no one wants him. I can't get rid of him, so I'm stuck with them. What do I do now? You have to readjust your target.
The problem is as well, because of the way that a lot of our deals have been structured. Say Raheem Sterling, let's just use him as an example. I feel like he's been harshly treated by a lot of people, but let's just use Raheem Sterling. He won't get the deal that he's got at Chelsea anywhere else again.
Yeah.
So the money that he earns, like I think Raheem Sterling isn't a player that I want to leave, to be totally frank. I think he's one of our better players. I think
he'd be great for Poch.
He's one of our better players. But let's just pretend that Poch doesn't fancy him. You're not getting rid of him anyway. Where's he going to get that money again?
No, it's true. Yeah.
His next move.
It's what United did with a lot of players. We bring players in and we go, here's 200 grand a week, make sure we keep you. Here's a 5-year contract. In 2 years, they're not very good, and we think they're not good enough. But now we can't get rid.
Yeah.
So now we're stuck with you on 200.
Because the player would have to take half. Like let's use a Man United player for this. Then maybe Harry Maguire's not a bad example. You know, if the manager wanted to get rid of Maguire, Maguire's going to go, no, I quite like it here, and you can pay me.
I'm happy to be on the bench.
Yeah, of course I'm happy to be on the bench.
No, put me on loan then.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All right, if you want to get rid of it, I'll go on loan.
Yeah.
But I'm not leaving permanently because
I'll have to halve my wages
a lot.
Yeah.
And
I'll run it down as well, and then I'll get a good move.
I kind of don't blame the players in that instance because they're
a job, isn't it?
livelihood. Did you see Nemanja Vidic on Rio's podcast?
No.
He went. I wish I was there when Woodward was there. He was like, It's like, just hearing that blatant honesty from players is like, they
He was laughing about it, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's incredible. Like,
What, he
and
said,
I imagine,
He's like in a jovial
I imagine,
way.
the players that signed their new contracts under the previous ownership and they're there now.
Yeah.
They're probably like, should have waited.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Todd Bowley would have chucked on
Yeah.
a few extra O's or whatever.
Yeah. Although weirdly, like he does it, like I think who did I read about the other day? It might have been Enzo Fernandez. He's got, he's there for the next 3 decades anyway, and they've made it 4. They've extended it. You're just like they've extended it.
I know. Yeah.
You just think, right?
Dilute the cost, spread it even
out.
more.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
No, it's a real worry.
Then you
what's
make
going
the
on with
player's life easier.
Well, this is
Because if you go to a player, he's an 8-year contract.
Doesn't have to perform. It's getting to the point where, when Oscar went to China, he's not caring about performing for the Chinese fans. He's there for it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Chelsea players now that they don't care if Chelsea come first, second, or 11th. They don't care.
Right? When you've got someone like Raheem Sterling, for example, who's come from Manchester City, coaches are the best in the world, the facilities are the best in the world, they have the money, but everything's run right. And then he's come to Chelsea. It's like, it's hard for me to get on board with this because it's a shit show.
Have you seen the difference as well in terms of Raheem Sterling? Like, one of the things that made him so successful at Man City and why Pep Guardiola loved him so much was because of his availability. He was never injured. He was the ever present. He was always available and generally always scoring goals. He's been injured at Chelsea for the season. Like that can't be coincidental, can it? It can't.
But that can be things like, my back's killing. Maybe. I've got a little knock, but I'm going to actually sit this one out. You know what I mean?
I know Sterling's personality from City. Like, he's not that kind of guy.
No,
I know what
I'm
you're trying
saying
to say.
Is, when you're having a great time at school and you're a little bit ill, you're going to go in. But when you don't want to go in,
I know what you mean,
and you're a little bit ill,
everything hurts a little bit more.
Bro, I'm ill today. You know what I mean? It's like,
the other thing with him, with everything that you've said here about Chelsea, let's bring it back now to Pochettino. Do you think that Pochettino is the man to kind of stand up to this culture that's developing at Chelsea? Do you think Pochettino is the man to say to Todd Bowley, actually, mate, you're not welcome in the dressing room?
I think if he's given a distance between him and the board, and he's given the power, like we hear that the negotiations are different to last time. He's been given more leeway to do what he wants. I think if he's given that power on the training room, with the academy, with the first team, and he can get rid of whoever he wants to, Chelsea will be in a much better position for it, and I think he will be a success.
No, but do you think he has effectively what you have to have there is the gumption and the aggression and the
balls, to be honest.
Really? Yeah, that's
because you might go beforehand. I'm getting rid of Aubameyang when I get in the job, and then you get in the job, and then you go, Aubameyang's not going anywhere, and you go, actually, all right, I'll keep you around because he might score a goal, and you're just kind of fooling yourself. It's like,
but the big one will be actually pushing back to Bowley. So when Bowley goes, whatever it is, Bowley goes, I'm coming to the dressing. I want to. Or it could even be as simple as this over a coffee. Todd Bowley says to Pochettino, I think that you should start N'Golo Kante up front. Because I do think that happens. Thomas Tuchel alluded to that, didn't he, with the suggestion about the formation. Is Pochettino a strong enough character to not allow that kind of culture to flourish, where the ownership are dictating the...
He dealt with Daniel Levy.
Yeah, he didn't deal with the...
But he lost that battle.
No,
the thing with Pochettino is
he didn't lose. He wasn't losing it the whole time.
He got sacked. He asked for two summer transfer windows where he needed backing. I think he's gone into Chelsea. It's almost too much at Chelsea now. At Spurs, he didn't have enough. After the Champions League final, they should have signed 4 or 5 players
going into that season.
50 million
into that season.
Yeah, they
signed somebody going into that season. It could have been
an extra man in each position of decent
They
quality.
literally signed nobody, did they?
They signed for 2 years.
I know.
It's
one
crazy.
keeper maybe or something.
Crazy.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
So, but at Chelsea, he's now got the opposite situation. They've got 30-odd players there that are all bang average.
They need to just go, well, let's close. I've got to stop everything.
Pochettino might end up.
No money can be spent.
But the trouble is,
we
we need to sign a striker.
mental.
Like
you've got Nkunku.
No, but he's not the. We need a Diego Costa, Didier Drogba. He's not going to be that.
There aren't many around, mate. Who are they?
I've got a
Osman's the only
feeling
one.
Poch gets in Kane's here,
Kane, Osherman.
Get Kane.
It'd be so funny.
You
but
could win the Premier League next season if you sign Kane this summer.
Arsenal have scored. Rob Holding.
Rob Holding, the Liberty taker.
He has a weird performance against us every now and then,
I think he's absolutely dog shit at the back, but he sticks
Did
on
he
in
score in
the
the last Arsenal win at the Etihad? I'm not sure. I might be wrong about that.
Oh, that would have been all right for the Super 6 fella as well.
No, can you imagine? So Chelsea conceding a second goal has done that geezer out of
So
quarter of a
frustrating.
billion quid.
Probably a few Forest scored, and there's probably a few more, but yeah.
That's so frustrating. A clean sheet would have been so good.
Oh, shut up.
No, would it?
Just shut up, mate. My team have just lost at home to Brentford. Shut up. Yeah, shut up. You've just won the league.
Finish.
Oh, I'm really
yeah.
frustrated.
Oh yeah, we just beat top
Shut
of
up.
the league. by
Shut up,
3-1.
mate. You've beaten the team at the top of the league. You've absolutely smashed them. I'm really frustrated. Really? Try being a Chelsea fan when you watch your
keep
best
it safe,
ever
though.
player, your hero, oversee 5 defeats in a row. Yeah, you want to talk about
We,
frustration?
He just winked at the. That is embarrassing. He
What
just
do you
winked
wink at the camera?
He just winked at the camera.
No, no.
Did he
Rob Holding.
really?
Yeah, he did.
Someone would have said something to him and he would have just winked. It's like the Ronaldo thing all over again.
Mate, it's like scoring a goal at Power League
No,
and
no, no.
winking to your mate. It's
Someone
like,
could have
mate,
gone
it's
to him.
embarrassing.
Rob, well done, mate. And he's gone. Thanks.
No. He
That's
was
it.
no. He was cocky.
That's
He was
it.
cockier than that. No. I could read. The
And you've seen it
situation
and gone, fucking hell, he's getting cocky, isn't he? You missed
No,
like-
I've not misread the situation. I understand it perfectly. That was embarrassing. But fair play to Arsenal. They scored a goal. Here we go. I want to do a minute's round of applause. Has anyone got a lighter? I want to do my lighter for. Here we go. I'm going to do my torch. Well
Come on,
done
Arsenal,
to
come on.
Arsenal for scoring a goal.
I want Arsenal to
Congratulations.
score again while you got your talk.
Well done. Well done, Arsenal. Biggest club in London, apparently. Institution. Get absolutely piked by little old City. Well done, lads. Well done. Couldn't beat Southampton. Couldn't beat West Ham. Couldn't beat Liverpool.
Oh,
Just lost to
Rodri.
Bournemouth.
Do you know what's going to be really funny? Like, I don't really want it to happen, but it would be so funny just to be sat next to you while it happens. If Arsenal score another one now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't really want it to happen, but I kind of really want it to happen.
Yeah. No,
If Arsenal can nick one before, in the next, say, 2 minutes,
2 minutes. All right.
come on now. Is it possible? Here we go. Look, you're terrified, aren't you? Enketia! Mate, I could see a little fear in your eye there.
24 is Reece Nelson, right? Is that am I right?
Nketiah.
Yeah. No, Nketiah's 14. So Saka's come off. I know we're supposed to be updating the people at home, but I need a bit of an update.
Yeah, you're watching us, but tell us what's happening. Yeah. Yeah, can you provide us with information, please?
Is there any good chat in the live chat at the moment, lads?
No,
Not hearing anything for a
Yeah,
good couple of
You've got a
minutes.
super chat in there, boys,
See?
from Tim Sim. He says, what's funny is that though this is Arsenal's best season in recent years, despite bottling the league and no trophies, which their fans should be proud of, it won't stop someone like Troops from moaning how it's still a failure.
Well, shout out to Troops, by the way. I like my torch to Troops. Here you go, big man. The People's Champion on Twitter. That was his username, by the way. The People's Champion. Here we go, Troops. Minute silence for you, mate. Hope you're okay. No comment from you lot? Okay, fine. They're scared about the Troops' reaction there.
I weren't even listening. What
Scared of Troops, you two.
Who's
No,
scared?
funnily
You
enough,
I rattled Troops actually.
How?
He unfollowed me.
really?
No.
Yeah.
Why?
Don't know what happened. We were quite good friends.
I
And he's unfollowed me.
hope he hasn't unfollowed
What
me.
happened?
I don't know.
Hang on, does he unfollow
Maybe
me?
it was
Hang on, I'm
something I
checking.
said.
Yeah,
Hang on, I'm
probably.
watching.
Probably is that.
Do you know that account? I love this account. This account just keeps me across the internet.
R.I.P. Troops anyway, because he's
Troops
going
is
to
not
lose
happy
his
with
mind
his-
today. He's going to lose his mind today.
Hang on.
And his mate's going to be getting thrown all over the place.
Hang on.
What do you
Hang on.
mean- What do you mean getting thrown all over the place?
I've seen something.
You just seen something not
Seriously.
good. Okay. Everyone at home can still hear Rory when he whispers to me.
Yeah.
I know Rory off camera goes to me. Seriously, just leave it. Leave it. While we're on a full wide shot. Leave it. Did you see they done you over the other day as well?
No?
On the Way Bridge bit.
Yeah.
And then you go, and they just leave it
Yeah,
in.
I know. That is the universal sign for cut it out. For anyone in any sort of filming capacity, from the very top, right? If you're Scorsese and DiCaprio, or if you're, well, me and Elliot, if this happens, that means cut. In every international, like everyone who you don't even have to understand any language that I speak, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
International code.
Yeah.
Put it in the bloody podcast.
Yeah, what was the clip about? Sorry.
Doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah, we bring it up. What was the clip, lads?
Doesn't matter. This means
If you want to see
cut.
the clip, by the way, it's in the Team of the Year video that we
This
did.
couldn't mean more
Dude,
cut.
what was it about?
Doesn't matter.
Team of the Season video. Go check
Elliot,
it out.
what was it about, mate?
No, let them go check it out later.
Yeah, but what was it about?
Like,
It was
watch,
It's about Wayne Bridge.
Oh, Wayne Bridge smashing, getting his wife gets smashed by John Terry or something.
Allegedly. Yeah.
It's also lies. You're saying lies.
So why did he leave Chelsea for
Not
Man
I'm
his
City?
talking about Wayne Bridge.
It's not his wife.
I reckon if we do a proper campaign on that year, like, because YouTubers and stuff are like pretty big deal now, isn't it? And I know there's a lot of bigger YouTubers than us at the club, but I reckon combined with Rory's acting career and being on the bill, EastEnders and all that, we could get Rory on one of those shows.
What shows?
I'm a Celebrity.
I want to go on that.
Yeah, you do.
You would?
You do.
You'd have a go on that.
I'd love a go on that.
What, I'm a celeb.
I wouldn't want to. How much?
I'm a celeb, deal or
20
no
grand.
deal.
Yeah,
Who
alright.
wants to be a
You
millionaire?
do 20 grand.
Mate, they pay more than that.
They pay more than that.
Don't
I'm not
settle
turning
for 20
down.
bags.
No, I'll negotiate, but that sounds like a lot of money.
Trust me,
Yeah.
I think Rory would be a great guest. And I think he'd get in. Because some of the people, I don't know who
No,
they
I
are.
don't know who anyone is. In celeb things, I don't know who anyone is.
I know who all these ones are because you got like Amir Khan.
They
and,
pay random
Mate,
radio
I don't know
presenters
who
with
any-
no talent. Hundreds of grand.
Mate, my wife
Radio's
works
dead
in,
though as well.
My wife works in
Manage
that
and
kind of-
decline, they say.
My wife works in that sort of industry, right? I don't know who anyone is.
Yeah,
Ever.
I don't.
I swear to
I
you.
don't know. Me
I don't know
neither.
who anyone is. Like, there's always somebody famous from like Made in Essex or whatever, right? The only way is what the fuck are they called?
Yeah, only way is Essex. Only way is Essex.
Yeah. There's
Pete Wicks, I think. That bloke
people
with
like
all
that,
the
right?
tattoos and all that.
There's always people like that who are completely interchangeable for me. Like, I vaguely know who Joey Essex is, and I vaguely know who Gemma Collins is, but I wouldn't recognise them in the street or if they were sitting on the tube opposite me. Apart from, like, you know, when they'll always pull out like one big name.
Yeah.
Apart from that big name, so the big name will be like Dennis Wise went into the jungle, for example. So you get the big name. I don't know who anyone else is.
No.
And also, I think a lot of people.
You always
wouldn't
have
think Dennis
one member of Happy Mondays, like
Yeah.
Des or Sean
Ryder.
Ryder or Rowetta turn up.
yeah.
One of them will turn up because you got to get the Northerners in. Amir Khan will be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, representing us. Like,
Want a diversity in there.
yeah,
Always
one of
want a
them,
diversity
any
in
one
there.
of them. And that literally is the
And then
diversity.
the Essex, and then the Essex person.
Yeah, one
the
from Essex.
The
Yeah.
token Essex person.
Ex-politician or
Yeah.
News
Diana's
reader.
butler.
Yeah.
Yeah, or a newsreader.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. There'll always be the politician who has aspirations of also being a celebrity.
Lempit
It will be Lisa Nandy. It will be Lisa Nandy next or something like that.
Who was the one? It was obviously Matt Hancock.
Mac Hancock.
Absolutely.
Lembit
Awful.
Opik, you're right.
That was a disgrace.
Mate, Lembit Opik was married to the
cheeky girls. He met the cheeky girl.
And then he married one of them.
married both of them.
The cheeky
He married
bum.
one of them.
Oh, he said first cheeky girls.
No,
Yeah, I said
they're
plural, so I
called the
can't tell you
cheeky-
which one was which.
Yeah,
but
again, totally.
he married
interchangeable.
one of them.
Yeah.
They were fantastic. They're Romanian.
What song did they sing? Do you know the song?
I am the cheeky girl.
How does it go?
I'm not,
How does it go? I can't remember.
do you know what? I would have done it.
Yeah. It was him and that geezer Chico time. Do you remember him? It's Chico time.
Who's the one before him? Darao?
Darius Dinesh.
Yeah.
He's brown bread.
He's dead. R.I.P.
Wait.
Yeah.
Why did
RIP.
you have to just say it like that?
Well, because he's passed away. I thought you were going to start laughing or something. I was going to say he's passed away.
No.
By the way, with the hair down.
No
That,
hairband.
that should be like if your boots off that shouldn't be
4-1.
allowed.
Yeah, he scored a goal with. Yeah, he's not fully dressed. Yeah, you're not dressed, mate.
By the
The
way-
goal doesn't count.
I think 3/4 of Arsenal's goals, City's goals could have been saved. Am I being unfair here? That was
John
right down the
Stones
middle.
one no. De Bruyne. The
I
second
think
De Bruyne one no.
everything apart from the header, I think, is a Ramsdale question
The
mark.
De Bruyne through the
Look at
nutmeg.
this.
The nutmeg one
Mate, you
aside.
got nutmegged.
Yeah, but when a shot is you're blindsided through a nutmeg, it's hard.
I
to
think a
save.
keeper doesn't ever accept being nutmegged as not their fault, though. It's like when Vialli did it to Schmeichel, innit? Schmeichel was upset.
It's from Arsenal.
Mate,
Again,
it's from
playing it out.
Arsenal again.
It's Arsenal over and over again. They keep playing.
That's
out.
such
Great
a touch
touch
by Philip Foden.
Was that
It's
still, yeah?
terrible save.
To
Terrible
save
save. Terrible
that.
save, mate.
Ramsdale's got
Look at his
Buvey living
hair.
in his head rent free,
Oh, it's
and he
terrible.
cannot
Mate,
cope
Ramsdale's
at the
having-
Etihad.
You hit one on target, it just goes in with Ramsdale. He's bravo. Look at that. He's put it into the ground.
Steve Grizovic.
That's
right.
Mate, the game that we were...
Bro,
He is now the
Bro.
record breaker.
bro. When we got keepers like Ramsdale flapping at everything, is there a wonder why this geezer scored 40-yard goals in the league?
Sorry, can I confirm that's better than Andy Cole, yeah?
Nah.
Andy Cole, had to
Andy
do a
Cole
proper
and Shearer in a
keepers, though, innit? Proper keepers.
22-side league.
Yeah, they played
What's the
against
record,
proper
sorry?
defenders, proper keepers,
It's over.
and
Proper key.
did it in Europe.
So aggregate, what was the game? What was the score when you played Arsenal in the Cup?
1-0.
1-0. We beat
Okay.
them 3-1 at the Emirates.
1-0, 3-1, 4-1.
So 8-2. I'd hate to be you.
It's not. It's not. It's just not close, is it?
It's not.
It's not close.
Look, I've always said the eye test. They could always beat us. They could always beat us. They could always hit us on the counter. But
no, you didn't say that. You're actually doing yourself a bit of a disservice here, which is weird.
Wait, it's kicking off.
Zinchenko's a melt.
You're actually doing yourself.
Zinchenko's nowhere near this situation, by the way.
Ben White. Sorry.
Nor is Smith Rowe. It's Ben White.
Ben White's been at the heart of a lot of trouble tonight.
Ben White. You don't even like football.
Who's this suit getting involved?
I love that you're calling them suits.
I don't know who he is.
Who's the suit?
I don't know who he is. He's just got a suit on, isn't it? Who is he?
Lads, go. This is my advice to the Arsenal players. Go down the tunnel, cry yourselves to sleep, get a Gales coffee tomorrow morning with all the other Arsenal fans in North London, get your little Gales, your little croissant, and go to sleep and have a little cry tonight.
Who's this suit getting involved? Mate, I'd love to.
Harlan, put your hair back up,
does
man. It looks
anybody know?
weird like that.
Does anybody know the Ben White issue? Like, what is it with White? Like, he's been very troublesome here. The England thing. He obviously deserves to play for England. Also, one of England's best players is Bukayo Saka. You would think that Southgate would want to replicate the England.
Got an unhealthy obsession with a man called Slabhead. That's his problem. But he's never going to pick Ben White at right back because we've got Kyle Walker, Trent, Reece James, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, all these guys that are natural right backs. But at centre back, Ben White, John Stones, I can name
just interesting.
Loads of English defenders are better than Harry Maguire.
So two games in hand, Buvey. 2 games in hand.
That's 4 points clear if we win. So 4 points clear if we win both our games in hand. That's
even if you draw your 2 games in hand, you're top of the league.
And do you know the other thing? Do you know the other thing? It almost doesn't matter now because you kind of think Arsenal have played in their last 4 games. They haven't won in 4.
Won a game.
When it really matters, when
they're like you boys.
Choke. Yeah.
Their front line didn't connect today. Their front line did not connect.
Mate, we're going to finish above them if the season went on till September. Mate,
who's better, Lampard or Arteta?
Yeah, Lampard. It's up for debate. Mate,
that wasn't good enough today from Arsenal. I think if City, score 4 world-class goals, it's different. The keeper, not good enough. I've said it for months, and I got slated on every platform. You never backed me, and I backed you.
I've been with you on the Ramsdale thing.
I backed myself on everything.
Jack, I've been with him on the Ramsdale thing, ain't I?
Yeah.
Right,
he's been with you on the Ramsdale thing, and do you know where you did yourself a bit of a disservice? I think it's important to flag it. For weeks, you've said to me, "We batter them at the Etihad."
Yeah.
You always said that, and now you've just gone. Of course they can come and get a result. No,
I'm being polite.
You did call this for weeks.
You need to walk into the overwrap on Friday.
The overwrap. It's Dr. Dre.
You need to walk into the overlap on Friday, and just get your cock out on the table.
Well, I'm not going to do that. I want to be invited back again.
The metaphorical cock.
Yeah, metaphorically speaking. If there was a cock to show, I would theoretically show it.
What does your metaphorical cock look like? How do you walk?
Ugly one.
Is it erect?
It looks like Erling Haaland. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. Everybody at home, you are utter legends. We know you have so many different watch-alongs you could watch when Arsenal are playing and people are crying and all sorts on them other ones, but you chose to watch it with us. So thank you very much for tuning in. Remember, make sure you join our league on Super 6, Club S6. We have got a new round beginning. You can get your predictions in ASAP, be in the league ready for the weekend, and maybe you could win that classic football shirts voucher and £250,000. Also, thank you very much to NordVPN for sponsoring us, nordvpn.com/theclub for all your exclusive offers from us and NordVPN. Thank you very much to Rory. Thank you very much to Buvey. Buvey, can you reveal your London Marathon time?
No, when we get to 5,000 on Super 6.
Yeah, that's fair.
We said that. I'm not
5,000 on Super 6. Unless we've made it.
Make sure you join the Club S6 on the Super 6 app, okay?
We haven't made it, so you'll get his London Marathon time in the next show. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, Thursday, the podcast's out. So that's tomorrow. The podcast is out with all your reaction to Man City beating Arsenal. And what time?
4 o'clock. 4 o'clock tomorrow, the podcast is out.
So you'll get it on your commute home. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you in a bit.